who we need? We need Zander Mania.
Oh, hang on. Microphone was muted. My bad. Hey, LS11 Universe. It's Zander. Now we're good. Microphone was muted. I recorded Bad Blood last night. Had to have my microphone off. Thank you guys for letting me know. You guys are doing well. Zaite, YT, Zach, good to see you guys. Glad to have you. My job today is to stall you until Ray gets here. He's not going to be coming in this door this time. It's not going to be the Royal Rumble 2009 watch along. It's just me. So yeah, here I am, just me. Got to find a way to kill some time until Ray gets here. So I hope you guys are doing well. SummerSlam Season 2 of Universe Mode is tomorrow. There's my phone. I needed to mute it. I heard it go off when I was setting up the stream. So yeah, SummerSlam Season 2. Big night coming up for us. Huge night coming up for us. Gargano Ciampa Round 2. Balor Rude. Zayn Owens. I mean, there's a lot going down. I'm very excited for it. So because I know that not everyone follows me on Twitter, not everyone is in our Discord, link in the description, I have shared the SummerSlam thumbnail in the Discord and on Twitter. So I will share with you guys the SummerSlam Season 2 thumbnail. So there's the SummerSlam Season 2 thumbnail. Oh, wait, you guys can, I just remembered you guys can see it on YouTube. Really glad you enjoyed the SmackDown that came out a couple hours ago. It was one of my favorite episodes of SmackDown that we've gotten to do. So yeah, SummerSlam coming up soon. Kind of crazy. I'd be lying if I said I expected we'd make it to SummerSlam year 2, especially because like this SummerSlam was supposed to be the culmination of an AEW invasion in Universe Mode, and like we canned that whole story, so it's kind of crazy thinking that we'd have been coming to the end of that story had things gone the way we planned a year ago now. Not even a year ago, 8 months ago now, when we were figuring out Universe. Like Brody Lee would have been the World Heavyweight Champion, and that would have been, quite honestly, one of the most emotional rewrites I would have had to do had we been going through with that. So yeah, SummerSlam tomorrow. I sound like a broken record, but I've also been up for a long time today. I've been doing a lot of editing today, and you can't really see this, but this is my notepad. I actually have a notepad when I record build-ups to pay-per-views. So you can see there it says Bad Blood Build, and I literally write how many times I do a pause in the middle of a match, like with a tally mark in a red pen, and then when I'm editing, I strike through said marks with a blue pen to make sure that we don't have the issues that we've been having with ARW and with regular Universe lately, where you've been catching the behind the scenes of me swapping who I'm playing as mid-match or trying to do so. Because that's embarrassing and it looks unprofessional. Like, if I can find it, I've got it for the month of Clash of Champions as well. The month of Clash of Champions is actually done. The only thing left to do is to... Oh, wait, no, I ripped that page out to make my grocery list. My bad. I was wondering about this notepad, by the way. Can you tell I'm stalling? Shaped like Samus from Metroid. But yeah, I'm stalling because Ray is at the store and is having to go do laundry and stuff. So he will be here hopefully sooner rather than later. We'll see. But I'm just here right now. We're just kind of chilling out. we'll start SummerSlam Season 1 in a few minutes. We'll go for another 5-6 minutes. Wait for some. Gonna wait for some people to come in. Maybe get a few more people here before we start everything up. Let some of the usuals get here. As much as I would love to share next month's pay-per-view banner, it literally spoils half the outcomes of SummerSlam because it's Clash of Champions. So it's going to have all the champions on it. And, you know, almost all the titles are on the line at SummerSlam tomorrow, except the Raw Tag Team titles. Sorry, Raw Tag Team titles. So, yeah, what else is there to talk about? Anything you guys want to know universe-wise other than who's winning a match, obviously? Fire away, and I will answer to the best of my abilities. Just know that NXT is Ray's ground. So pretty much, if you ask me a question about something with NXT, I can answer it, but probably not as competently as Ray would. Zach was just watching WrestleMania before this. I go back and rewatch our WrestleMania, not in full, but I go back and rewatch parts of it just to see the live chat again, because I tweeted about this a lot 2 nights ago. The live chat with the premieres has been my favorite thing with Universe Mode. Just getting to watch in real time with you guys on these premieres. It's great. Like, it makes my day to see what you guys think. Like, tomorrow with SummerSlam, I'm beyond excited for everyone to see the Fight Pit and Rollins Murphy, Ronda Rousey versus Rhea Ripley. What else is on there? Balor Rude, Gargano Ciampa, Samoa Joe, Keith Lee. It came out so much better than I expected. I recorded SummerSlam probably 2.5 months ago now. Ray and I did the commentary for it just over a month ago now. We did it if you guys remember that stream we did the end of January where Ray was actually right here with me for a full stream. We recorded the SummerSlam commentary and the TakeOver Brooklyn commentary the very next morning. We were hopefully going to do that with Clash of Champions this weekend, but I had some familial commitments this weekend that required my attention, unfortunately. Currently, also, in case anyone's wondering, I've got videos exporting on Adobe Media Encoder because Rollins is the true. Sure, I mean, whatever. I think he's probably like middle of the card tomorrow. Gargano Ciampa is the final match of the show because that's the main event. I don't care what anyone says. Gargano Ciampa is ridiculously good tomorrow, and I'm very excited for you guys to see it. Okay, so, we are about 15 minutes into when the stream is supposed to start now. So I'm going to navigate my way over here into the YouTube studio. Make sure I don't share that screen with you guys because it's got some secret videos already scheduled out to premiere or go up. So let's get to SummerSlam. You guys don't have to worry about time sinks because I own this footage, so therefore I can show this footage. We love that, as you know. So I'm going to be fully honest with you guys. I have not seen this SummerSlam. It was uploaded April 13th, 2020. It literally was recorded. Let's see. When was WrestleMania 2020? I know it was 2 nights, so I'm looking it up right now. I don't need anyone to tell me because I'm looking it up right now. It was March 25th, March 26th. Really? Huh. For some reason, I thought it was in April. So, yeah, this was 2 weeks after WrestleMania 2020. I recorded part 1 and 2. Or when is the... I don't know, Zach. I don't know, genuinely. I haven't recorded it. I haven't written it. Life is kicking my ass lately. I've only had time to do videos that have to be out on a certain schedule. I shouldn't have said I'll do it this week when I said I'd do it. I will get to it when I get to it, kind of like what I said a couple weeks ago on stream. Because the following week, I didn't work on any videos because sometimes even YouTubers need a break. And just because you guys get almost daily videos from us doesn't mean that we actually make them daily. For example, the entire build to Bad Blood has been recorded across this past week, like across 3 days. I recorded it Tuesday, Wednesday, and yesterday. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Clash of Champions was done across 2 days. But yeah, so we're about to watch SummerSlam Season 1. So let's share a specific tab. And share audio. And Don't die on me. There we go. Can I swap which one is bigger like this? I like me being the big part, but that obviously needs to be bigger. So let's see. Let's go full screen with it. So yeah, I genuinely have not seen this SummerSlam since I made it, since I edited it, and I edited it the night before it came out because Zach, you were there. You know that there was a point in time where Universe videos were just doing that day after day. There was an episode coming out. There were just pay-per-views coming out on random days of the week, not premiering. And that was before I realized premieres are a lot more fun for this kind of stuff. So yeah, we're about to watch SummerSlam. This is going to be a lot of fun. Like I said, haven't seen it since it came out. So what's the card again? We got Zayn versus Nakamura, Edge and Christian versus The Revival, Andrade versus Owens. Andrade is a bit of an awkward topic given earlier today it was reported he asked for his WWE release. EC3 and Roman Reigns, Murphy versus Black, Gallows and Anderson versus the Viking Raiders, Kingston versus Ciampa, McIntyre Rollins, Baszler Lynch, Lesnar Bryan. Yeah, wow, this was a very stacked SummerSlam. So if you guys are ready, I'm ready. Let's get it going. Let me know if the audio needs to be leveled out so you can still hear me.
LS11 Universe
That definitely needs to be turned down.
To
Very strange hearing my own voice on a video like this.
Here in WWE 2K Universe Mode, we got a huge match card ahead of us.
Good to know my announcing both has and hasn't changed.
Anyone else's time? Let's get on into our first matchup of the night.
I'm going to pop myself off the screen for just 2 seconds real quick. I'm still here. Don't worry. I just had to do something behind the scenes that I don't want people seeing on the live stream. Nothing bad. Just easier to turn my camera off for 2 seconds while I do that.
SmackDown match.
So this was a loser leaves SmackDown match. I remember this. And I remember doing this because this ultimately was all planned. This loser leaves SmackDown match was ultimately planned because, one, I wanted to split Zayn and Nakamura up after they because they were together in real life when I started Universe. So I started Universe essentially from real life WWE, but with my own tweaks made to it, like certain people on certain rosters. For example, Tommaso Ciampa. And so Sami Zayn on his way to the ring. The loser leaves SmackDown. At the time of starting Universe mode, Nakamura was the Intercontinental Champion, and he had the whole Sami Zayn is my manager, I think, thing going on. It was right before the tag team with Cesaro. I managed to just barely dodge the bullet on that one. Because I love Nakamura, I love Cesaro, I love them a lot more separately than I do together. So we booked this match. We did the Nakamura-Ciampa feud, which turned to Nakamura turning on Zayn. And this led to this match where we wanted to split Nakamura and Zayn up, get them on separate shows. And the entire reason for this was because we were going to be doing Zayn and Owens for winning the Raw Tag Team titles 6 months later at WrestleMania, roughly. Let's see. 5 months later in real life. 7 months later, we were going in-game time. So we are, wow, 7 months? That doesn't sound right.
Nakamura making his way to the ring.
I guess it is. Weird. Didn't realize that. Either way, Nakamura, definitely glad that he's got his face entrance theme back. Glad we could turn him face again. Fun fact is we actually had the idea to turn Nakamura face and give him his old music back a long time before WWE did. It just happened to air the week that they did it. It's always that just always happens to be how it goes with LS11 Universe, though. It's just what happens with us, and I've learned to accept it. My water is unfortunately empty, and I don't have a co-host here to give me a second to run and get water. So that's always great.
So it's Zayn and Nakamura. Here we go. Oh, Nakamura with a big thrust kick to Sami Zayn.
The goal of this match was
Kick to the back.
the goal of this match was obviously to make both guys look good, but also to make Sami Zayn a big underdog. But also he had to lose because it was loser leaves SmackDown.
Nakamura went for a kick. Zayn finds the counter. Sami Zayn with an uppercut. And now Zayn up to the top rope. Sami Zayn looking to fly. And Sami Zayn with an elbow drop to Shinsuke.
You know, this video actually only has about 350-ish views. That's just kind of ballparking it. I saw it a minute ago, but like, it's kind of crazy seeing how that's regular. Like 350 views across a year, and now we pull 350 views in like 2 days on a pay-per-view. It's kind of crazy.
Loser of this match will be banished from SmackDown and will go to either Raw or NXT.
Now you heard my little line there about either Raw or NXT. That was just because I didn't want people knowing where Sami Zayn was going to go when he lost this. I wanted to give the illusion he might go to NXT. I thought that could be a fun kind of hint to drop, and it was to kind of give the idea that people could go to NXT. And NXT was more of a third brand than a developmental for us. God, I love that move.
Oh, went for the crossbody. Nakamura caught him. Nakamura slams him into the mat. Nice catch there. Nice catch.
So I don't think I obviously the expectations for a Zayn Nakamura match are very high given NXT TakeOver Dallas in 2016. I know we definitely didn't capture that with these two, but I think that I definitely captured a different kind of magic in this match. This is arguably match of the night, if I remember correctly.
After the rematch with Ciampa,
I could be incorrect on that.
Nakamura, now Zayn. Off the ropes.
So yeah, like I said, if you guys have any universe questions, just throw them my way, and I will answer to the best of my ability.
And a shot to Nakamura, but Nakamura fires back on shot.
Hopefully I'll have a competent answer for you, is kind of my thought there.
Picking up Sami Zayn and Shinsuke Nakamura. Grab Sami Zayn.
See if I can bump the quality up at all. No, 720p is the highest it will go. Which I think that's kind of natural for our videos, and that's mainly because it would be way too... I tried it with 1080p, and the video takes way too long to render, and has way too high of a file size for me to consistently do it.
One. And a kick out from Sami. And Nakamura just boots him into the mat. And Nakamura telling him to come on. Zayn rolls back to his feet. Here comes Nakamura. Whoa! Sami gets caught. Nakamura grabs the arm, elbow to the back of the arm. And Zayn catches Nakamura, rolls him through here. Sami Zayn.
The referee. Hey, Carol, good to see you. Glad I'm pretty good. Hope you're doing all right.
Bridges it. One. And a kick out from Sami.
Just rewatching last year's LS11 Universe Summerslam, taking questions from everyone about it, kind of breaking down my thought process about these matches as they go on. We're currently on the first match, so you've not missed much at all. We're actually only a few minutes into the show. I got a late start. Ray will be here hopefully at some point tonight. If not, I mean, maybe it'll be a Just Zander live stream. Who knows?
Sami Zayn. Oh, Zayn into the Koji clutch. We don't see Sami Zayn pull the Koji clutch often.
Understandable. Well, we're just glad to have you in the audience, Carol. It's always good to have you.
Oh, Nakamura. Oh, a bit busy taunting Sami Zayn, but oh no, it doesn't quite get him there. Now Nakamura back to his feet. Sami Zayn grabs him.
Sami Zayn has such a fun moveset to play with in these games. And that's one thing I always love about using him in these matches.
Right hand. Turns Nakamura around. Whoa. Rolls Nakamura.
I did get a little roll-up happy, I think.
Two. Whoa. Nearly got him.
It's very possible that I got a little roll-up happy in this match.
Nakamura's got Zayn up.
Speaking of fun movesets, Nakamura, ridiculously fun to play as well. He's been my only downside with Nakamura, and this isn't Nakamura himself. This is just the game. There's a weird glitch in my game where it's only happened with Nakamura so far, but the game will glitch out, and I will just no longer be able to reverse when playing as Nakamura. It happened in an episode of SmackDown I was just editing. It happened in the Nakamura Cesaro match at SummerSlam. And of course, me saying I'm playing as Nakamura doesn't mean he's winning. It just means I was playing as Nakamura. I mean, you can see I'm playing as Sami Zayn in this match, and he didn't win.
Zayn, Swanton. 1, 2. Kick out from Nakamura.
I even jumped a little bit, and I knew that wasn't it.
Nakamura back up. Right hand.
There's one weird thing with 2K games, and it is that sometimes you can just do a top rope move, and your opponent won't kick out. Like it's not even a signature or finisher, and they just don't kick out. It's weird.
And Sami Zayn forces his own shoulder up off the mat. Nakamura now grabs Zayn by the arm and stomps on the arm. Nakamura now with a kick. Nakamura turns him over, and Nakamura has Zayn by the arm, and Nakamura pulls back on the arm of Sami Zayn. Nakamura taunts to the crowd. Says it's going to be over. Kick in the back.
But was it going to be over? I can't remember.
Turns him around. Nakamura grabs him, throws him across the ring.
Everyone, that move has such a brutal take, especially when you're John Cena and you get thrown on your fucking neck.
1. And a kick out from Sami. Nakamura
Was this it?
Shinsuke looking for the end with Kin.
Yep, I tried to get the second reversal. I was going to try and have him go a few more minutes.
1, 2, 3. Sami Zayn's gone from SmackDown, and Nakamura picks up the victory.
Actually, at this point, with Nakamura having turned face, and I obviously do more universe than I do anything real life WWE. I despise WWE in real life right now. I can't get into it anymore. The pay-per-views I can watch and I'm fine with, but I can't do weekly Raw SmackDown. But like I've just been hearing the original Nakamura theme so much, hearing like the Japanese rapping in it now feels weird. So this is a very interesting matchup coming up with Edge and Christian versus The Revival.
Up next, it is time for the SmackDown Tag Team Championship match.
So the reason that this matchup is interesting to me is not only because Christian just recently showed up as Christian Cage in AEW in real life, which may make things a little awkward this week in Universe. We'll see.
This match came about 2 weeks ago when Christian was hosting a special edition.
But Edge and Christian weren't supposed to win this matchup when we planned it. We planned this at the end of 2019. So the way we do Universe is we plan the pay-per-views. Once we finish a WrestleMania or on the verge of coming up to a WrestleMania, we then plan every pay-per-view from Backlash to the next WrestleMania.
He told them that he didn't agree with that. He told them that
this matchup has 3 AEW guys in it. But keep in mind, none of them were AEW guys at the time of recording this. I mean, this was...
what led us to this match tonight.
Was FTR AEW? No, FTR was not AEW yet. They showed up in June, I think. Yeah, sometime like that.
You know he's got to hard for this. You saw him come out in his ring gear just a week ago.
Let's see. Let's just be certain. Yeah, May 27th is when they showed up. So, and this came out in April. So it was before any of them were in AEW. But when we do Universe, when we plan a season, we literally plan the whole season in one go, pay-per-view wise. And then we just go month by month on the week by weeks. So I write out with Ray all the pay-per-views. He takes the lead, and I just kind of type for takeovers. The original idea with the the Revival, who are Edge and Christian's opponents tonight, is that they were going to be a legend killer tag team, starting with Edge and Christian. And at the pay-per-views across season 1, they were going to fight the Dudley Boys, the New Age Outlaws, maybe DX, Brothers of Destruction at some point, possibly. Just as many legend tag teams as could still get in the ring and it'd be believable that they could still wrestle. And the Revival was going to win all these matches before losing the belts to a new team in the Undisputed Era at WrestleMania. But then Edge returned in real life.
It's the return of Edge.
Oh, Zach, Black Wednesday. This pay-per-view was the last thing recorded for... before Black Wednesday. So yes, I'm going to be going off about Black Wednesday today. Like, you're going to hear a lot of Black Wednesday fucked this up in this video. We talked about it. We talked about it a lot on Patreon, so you guys are finally going to get a taste of what it's like here, because this is pretty much the closest to a Patreon podcast you're getting for free right now. So Edge and Christian weren't supposed to win this match, because this match was planned in November of 2019. And Ray and I made the deal that we would do this match as long as Christian took the pin. The Revival left, and then Edge came back in real life. So we were like, well, we got to get the belts off the Revival. And so we just decided, let's do an Edge and Christian nostalgia run.
The Revival.
So I'll get into Black Wednesday when it becomes more prevalent to the show.
Since we started here in Universe Mode, they have been a dominant.
I would just like to acknowledge something though while we're here. April 13th, 2020 was the upload date of this. Black Wednesday.
They defend the tag team championships against a pair of legends.
April 15th.
A Hall of Famer and a future Hall of Famer.
2 days after this aired. I was actually I didn't live here yet, but I was in this house looking at it with my family, deciding we wanted to move into this, deciding this was the house we wanted to buy when Black Wednesday started. That's kind of surreal, honestly. So this was one of the last shows as well before the ring announcer got turned off, and I replaced JoJo's in-game model with Justin Roberts, so that my voice coming out of his mouth made more sense. And the reason that she's muted now, or he's muted now, because it's Justin Roberts' player model, is because of ARW, because them announcing guys like Kratos and Jason Voorhees from the United States of America, it just sounds weird. Like, you're going to also hear another glitch later where Buddy Murphy is introduced as Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, even though he's modded into his own player slot, not over Ricky Steamboat. So I wanted Edge to get the big last entrance for his team, so she announced them as Christian and Edge instead of Edge and Christian.
Here we go.
But I was very happy when Edge returned, because we got this awesome modded player model. We still use of him that we've been using of Old Man Edge. I think with the beard, he looks really cool. I obviously am a fan of beards, as you can tell.
Firing up his tag team partner, getting this crowd firmly behind Christian.
And so, yeah, the idea to do this came about when the Revival left, and so that's why we did the whole peep show thing right before SummerSlam. Christian came out, he interviewed the Revival. They called themselves the best tag team of all time. Christian said, "I'm not so sure about that." Revival beat him down. The next week, Edge made his return, and he and Christian took the Revival out. And I think Edge and Christian, this was the first time either of them wrestled in Universe Mode.
You can hear the crowd. They want Edge.
And now, of course, Edge is full-time in our Universe Mode again. Once again, I am going to go full screen with the game for just a moment. Still in the room. Just need to step off my camera area again. I need to wrap something this time.
Now Captain Charisma up to the top.
Realize I've forgotten it.
Christian. Oh, Scott Dawson shuts him down.
So I said Zayn
Wait a minute.
Edge versus Mick Foley. Yeah, their WrestleMania match. I remember that. If you're talking about that one with the spear through the flaming table, I do remember that match being good. I haven't seen any other Edge Mick Foley match that I can think of off the top of my head, at the very least. I'm not gonna say this is this is definitely not my favorite Edge match in Universe Mode. I think that right belongs to his match with AJ Styles at WrestleMania, or arguably the triple threat match between him, Ciampa, and Morrison that we just did at Battleground a few weeks ago. 4 weeks ago, I guess. A month ago now. Wow. Yeah. Weird. There we go. I had to lock my chair in place. God, I miss the Revival in Universe Mode. I miss them so much, but I do not blame them for leaving.
Edge stomps on Scott Dawson, picking him back up to his feet. And now Edge.
I really miss just seeing them here. Makes me miss them so much.
Gets hung up in the ropes.
And I couldn't bring them back because we had the whole no AEW or New Japan signed, right? So the rule we use now at this point in Universe Mode for bringing guys in is They cannot be signed to AEW, New Japan, Impact, or any companies that are involved with those. Joe Hendry, he's with Ring of Honor. That's been my exception just because Joe Hendry is my favorite independent wrestler. That was the only one. Edge versus Mick. Why did I think they had another match? I don't know.
And Dawson finds the counter. Scott Dawson, gets caught by Edge.
But I have seen that one. I do enjoy that match, actually. I'm not typically the biggest hardcore wrestling fan, but that match is pretty good.
Edge with a right hand and another. Knocks him in the corner. Tag made. Now Christian is.
I always do love a spear. I always love a flaming table spot.
Oh, spear and clothesline combo. Cover.
And see, we were able to get away with that because it was Christian doing the spear.
Dash Wilder gets him with a drop kick.
So yes, this show was actually recorded on the same day as I believe WrestleMania 2020 Night 1, and it just aired a few weeks later.
And Christian gets turned around by Dash Wilder. Dash with a kick, and now Dash.
Oh, what happened to no flips, just fist Dash?
Christian, right hand at Dash Wilder. Christian now rolls him through. Small package hold here on Dash.
They team together against Tommy Dreamer and Terry Funk. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
Now Dash Wilder back to his feet. Thanks to Christian. Christian throws him in the corner again. Christian grabs him. Here we go. Christian to the middle rope. And Christian into a DDT.
It is so insane just seeing this show. We're only on the second match, and there's already so much different between this year and last year. Like, Sami Zayn and Shinsuke Nakamura are the only two people that are still on the card this year thus far. And they're both faces now. Nakamura was a heel at the time.
Watch on as that Dash Wilder back to his feet. Dash Wilder takes out the arm of Christian. And now Christian in trouble.
But yeah,
Dash Wilder takes him down. Dash Wilder now.
God, like I said, I miss the Revival so much. I'm so sad we only got 4 months with them in Universe. We got them, and none of their matches were. This was like their only great match they had in Universe. Like their match with Heavy Machinery was a fucking joke. Their match with Beer Money at Super Showdown wasn't horrible, but it wasn't great. They didn't have a match at Money in the Bank, and then here we are. This was their best match, I think. No doubt.
Throws Christian in the corner. Oh, Christian kicks him. Right hand. Oh, kill switch. Engaged.
I do still love calling that. For some reason, when it comes to Christian, I prefer calling it the kill switch, but just about anyone else, I'll call it the Unprettier. And I call it the kill switch just because that's what he called it. When I saw him,
well, he's got to get back in his own.
Because I was there in 2014, right before he stopped, right before he retired for the first time, or was forced to retire anyway, before he returned this year.
Counter from Dash Wilder. Float over neck breaker from Dash.
Is there other big Universe Mode creators that you watch and think about when recording? I really don't watch that many other universes actually. I'm subscribed to Murphs, I'm subscribed to Goran Perkins, and I'm subscribed to Brendan Plays. And, of course, Mada. But Mada's a smaller channel. He's one of my good friends.
Atomic drop from Dash.
And I don't really think about his much because he's my friend, and so we do try and do different stuff. He and his buddy Greg Tree are combining their universe modes now. I'm subscribed to Murphs, but I don't watch it. Like, I try, but his shows, I think what it is they come out. I'm so used to my Monday, Wednesday, Friday schedule that shows that and how I do things, which is a lot more of a Brendan Plays style way of doing things. Like that was my big inspiration starting, was Brendan Plays. That's been my big inspiration on how I format my universe. That just Murph's format, it's fantastically made. Like I think it's really well made. But I just can't stick with it. Plus, he's had such a long-running universe mode that I have a hard time just jumping in.
Big spinning wheel kick.
I need like a recap for me to be able to jump in, like a video recap from him on how to jump in. Goran Perkins, they fortunately don't take much to understand. So if I'm bored and they have a video out, I will throw it on while I'm drawing or while I'm editing or something. But Brendan Plays is probably the only other one I think about, and that's just kind of because that was what introduced me to the concept of universe modes, and that's kind of what gave me the idea to start doing a universe mode in 2014 when I was, about about 6 inches shorter and a little bit less loud, and definitely not as gravelly or deep in the voice as I am now. And when I didn't know the revival didn't exist yet, Nakamura was guys like Nakamura didn't exist yet for me. Try some Project. I've heard of him, just haven't watched him yet. He's definitely on the I should check them out list. Dankox is AEW Universe Mode. I'm gonna burn a bridge here if I say this. I'm aware.
Go, Edge.
I'm really well aware that I'm gonna burn a bridge if I say this. The AEW Universe Mode that he was or is still doing with Murphs, it's not for me. It's not. I'm personally not a big fan of marketing a realistic universe mode and then making yourself a created character within it. Like I exist within ARW, obviously, but ARW is about fictional characters and stuff, not real wrestlers. And so that's my only problem with him. I think he's a fine commentator. I think the production value on that series is really good. Again, it's just not for me. But I will check out Project when I get a chance. Other than that, I don't really watch any other universe modes. And that fortunately that topic got me through the rest of that match because I didn't have much else to talk about with Edge, Christian, and the Revival.
Team champions.
Kind of crazy that I got to give Edge and Christian one more title run though.
Can you believe it?
I didn't have a thing with them with the belts over their shoulders. And now here we are, Kevin Owens and Andrade. Have I tried 2 controls? Okay, so here's the thing, Zach. I actually play on PC. So I only have one controller. My only other option is this, and I ain't learning how to play with this. Because and here's the weird thing. I do have a second PlayStation 4 controller and a second cable, but when I plug any other controller other than specifically this one in, my voice gets real gargled and deepens and gets distorted. And so it just doesn't work. And the rest of the audio does as well. Otherwise, I could just do post commentary if I needed to.
Andrade making his way to the ring. Zelina Vega.
Yet again, 2 more people not in universe mode a year later. I mean, Andrade, he's there, but he isn't. Like, you're going to be seeing him in universe mode in the build to Clash of Champions and in the build to Bad Blood, but he requested his release today in real life, so you're not going to see him in universe mode anymore after Bad Blood. I just haven't moved him to the alumni shelf yet. I think Andrade is probably AEW or Ring of Honor bound, would be my guess.
If he wins tonight, he's getting another shot at the
I think La Sombra and Theo Trinidad would be a fantastic pairing to bring into AEW.
Talking advice to him. Talking him up.
That's just me personally, of course.
Zelina Vega, one hell of a manager and one hell of a performer in the ring. Don't discount her either. But Andrade, tonight, it's all about.
I loved that attire for Andrade. Just the Hispanic flag, the Mexican flag color scheme. I loved that attire so much. But I eventually did have to replace it, just because you got to replace things every time they wear out their welcome. Man, Andrade was such a big player in Universe Mode at one point. And then WWE started doing him dirty, and then his time just kind of came and went in Universe. And I could never get him back to where he should have been, and that's my own fault. People thought he was going to win the U.S. title at TLC, our first pay-per-view premiere. We made it look like he was about to beat Aleister Black and be the first man to beat him for the U.S. title, but it didn't happen. And
man who just loves to fight.
That's really Andrade's last big moment in Universe Mode, and it makes me sad. Not commentating, so you can rest your voice for all the not commenting, so I can rest my voice from all the commentary. I do just enough to where my voice is fine, I think. Like, it doesn't bother me too bad. I'm a voiceover as like one of my other jobs. So my voice is pretty much always fine. That's just part of why I drink a lot of water. Is it helps keep me going. It's a good question though. Like, and I've considered letting Ray take a couple episodes by himself, but I feel like, and this is no disrespect to Ray, who will hopefully be here soon.
These two were involved in a number one contenders match.
Once again, somebody did better under Triple. Imagine that, you know? Imagine that.
Universal Championship that would go on to be won by Drew McIntyre.
Kevin Owens, finally someone that's going to be on the SummerSlam card tomorrow. Only the third person we're seeing that's on the SummerSlam card tomorrow.
The arm of Andrade.
Granted, we're in the third match.
Andrade finds the counter. Andrade's got Owens by the arm now. Put it back against.
But yeah, no. I'm fine doing commentary on that. I appreciate the concern.
Kevin Owens, of course, calls himself the headlock master.
But, you know, I crack out a month's worth of Universe in a week. My throat's maybe sore for a day. I let it recover. I eat some soft foods. I drink a lot of water. Drink some milk. Helps out a little bit sometimes. But it's all good. I do appreciate the concern.
Kevin Owens now pushes Andrade.
Mainly it's because I'm not yelling much when I do Universe. That's kind of because of there are other people that live in the house on the floor above me, and so my voice will travel through the vents if I yell too loud. But if I do get the chance, when you hear me like scream on commentary, that's when you know I'm home alone to do commentary. Have I ever lost my voice after doing commentary after an exciting pay-per-view? That's a great question. I don't think I have. I'm waiting for the day to happen, though. I did lose my voice recently, though, for a day. I lost my voice the day they announced Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. So technically, I lost my voice for doing a video because there's a video clip where I'm in my car and go, Gen 4 Remix! At the top of my lungs. And that was what did my voice in because I've been screaming all morning about the idea. But I would love to be able to get that loud for a pay-per-view, but I feel like and this is just a passing thought. I don't remember who it was, but I saw a video, and I don't know whose Universe mode it was. It was back when I was doing the original Universe mode by myself on the other channel. I saw someone else's WrestleMania, and I was just skimming through it, just to see what their production was like, see if it was someone I might want to try and become friends with. And every single move, they're like, "Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!" And every single move, like, oh my god, what a drop kick! And I was like, that's honestly taking it a little too far. You don't want to be overexcited for everything. You want to save the. Like, I think the commentary I do is good, personally. Like, I definitely have room for improvement. I definitely have room for improvement. Especially a year ago when this was fun. But I think off the ropes, here we go, hops over him into an arm drag, and then a pop-up power bomb. I think that's kind of the best way to do it. Is you don't want to over-excite yourself all the time, but who knows? Maybe I will get excited to the point of losing my voice. So this actually, and this is kind of interesting. I mentioned with you in the chat, Zach, is this matchup is kind of partially leading to the Monday Night Messiah gimmick. Because Kevin Owens wins this match and earns a Universal title match. And that match is what brings Seth Rollins back as Messiah following the pay-per-view. This pay-per-view itself sets up the Monday Night Messiah gimmick, which I think is the longest running, like, most high-profile gimmick we've had. Like, consistently main event gimmick that we've had in Universe mode. Like, I know my commentary says otherwise, but I do love Seth Rollins a lot. It's the same way that Ray is like always calls Johnny Gargano a little rat bastard on commentary and stuff. And I think he does it. He tones it down just a little bit at SummerSlam. But either way, he still does it. I have to hate Seth Rollins in the Universe because he's the top heel in all of the Universe. Next to Tommaso Ciampa. Okay, the video is buffering, by the way, so we just got a minute here. My internet has been weird lately. I don't know what's been wrong with it. There we go.
Yet again. And Andrade kicks down Kevin.
Yeah, of course. When I think a match is over, but they kick out and get excited. Yeah, there's actually been a couple times where I've genuinely been caught off guard by a kick out in Universe mode. I'm trying to think of them. Like at WrestleMania. WrestleMania Season 1. We're just going to be here a minute. Hopefully YouTube didn't just straight up go down. Maybe it's just my Wi-Fi being bad. Because my Wi-Fi has been horrendous lately. Let's give it a quick refresh.
One.
Yeah, we're not watching in 144p. I'm sorry. I can't do that. Come on now. Work with me, damn it. And I don't have this video saved either, is the worst part. All right, we'll bump down the quality one notch, see if that does anything. Yeah. So at WrestleMania, as I was saying, sorry, YouTube's being weird. My Wi-Fi is being weird, I guess. Yeah, just talking here at this, but yeah. Here we go. So yeah, WrestleMania this year, when Murphy kicked out of the second black mass, he wasn't supposed to get hit with a second black mass. So when I got the kick out, that was what got me super excited. Which of course, WrestleMania was post commentary, so I couldn't get as excited. I had to act excited. Trying to think of what other kickouts have made me that excited. So because the thing is, when kickouts happen that aren't supposed to happen, I lately, if I don't want the match to continue, I pause the game, make a note that I paused, set up the keyboard as playing as the second person, and do the pin again, so that it's actually the 1, 2, 3. Speaking of 1, 2, 3, oh shit, I forgot about that one.
Kevin Owens back in the cover. 1, 2, 3.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Off the pop-up powerbomb, Kevin Owens gets the win.
I completely forgot about that botched finish that I forgot to edit out.
So that means that the winner of tonight's Universal Championship match will face that man.
Totally forgot about that. Owens was supposed to win this match, but I botched the kick out.
Big win for Kevin Owens.
And I botched a couple kickouts this time, like this kind of time period in Universe mode.
Andrade and Zelina Vega back to the drawing board for their strategy. But we got more action coming up next.
All right, not Jobber. He's not here yet. All right, Zach, you wanted to hear about Black Wednesday. Not this, but the next entrant. You're about to see the biggest case of Black Wednesday fucking us over.
Taking things into another gear as Roman Reigns making his way to the ring.
This show, as I've said, was the last show recorded before Black Wednesday. I hadn't started recording the build-up to, or I had just started recording the build-up to Clash of Champions. Clash of Champions had a few changes that had to be made. Have the game ever messed up plans, like if they were supposed to kick out but the computer didn't? Yes and no. Hey, what's up, Prince Mada? Good to see you. We're just watching last year's SummerSlam. So, Zach, to answer your question, yes and no. So, there's never been a match where the wrong person won. Because I have always, if the wrong person wins, I make a note and I restart the match and I get the right win. But there have been a couple times where I've accidentally not kicked out or the computer's not kicked out. Like the next month, actually the month like there you just saw with the Andrade thing where I messed up the kick out. But there have been several times.
Roman Reigns making the ring.
It's not a universe mode thing. It's an ARW thing. But in ARW, there was a 2 out of 3 falls match between Captain America and Little Mac for the world title at ARW's 2020 Royal Rumble. And the match ended on a moonsault, which is neither of their finishers or signatures. It just ended on a moonsault. And this is the biggest case of Black Wednesday messing up universe mode. Mr. Money in the Bank, EC3. Do I really need to explain how Black Wednesday messed this up? I don't feel like I do, but I feel like I still will. This was a street fight between Roman Reigns and EC3.
Through the sledgehammer to the ribs of Roman. Remember, anything.
So EC3 got the surprise debut the month before at Money in the Bank. Surprise debut, filled the spot of Apollo Crews, entered the ladder match, won the briefcase in his first appearance in Universe mode.
As soon as he possibly can.
And then he finds himself in this high-profile match with Roman Reigns at SummerSlam. Very different from what he was doing at this time in real WWE. He was getting squashed by Rusev on Monday Night Raw. Come on now, YouTube. Don't mess with me today. We're just going to watch it in whatever quality it puts us out as long as I can still see.
He's going to make sure that he's the one to finish it.
But yeah, there's also been a couple cases in regular universe, though. Just to completely answer your question. There have been like 1 or 2 cases where I've done a move and the computer's not kicked out. Like the following month from this Clash of Champions, 2 matches actually end that way. Ciampa hits the DIY knee on Grand Metalik, and Metalik doesn't kick out, even though he was supposed to. And the main event between Owens and McIntyre ends with McIntyre headbutting Owens instead of hitting with the Claymore future shot. And I think that one might have been on me. I can't remember. I don't intend to watch Clash of Champions back to find out, though, because Clash of Champions was a panic booked show, and it definitely shows. This year's Clash of Champions is significantly better. I've got it edited. Ray and I are going to commentate it tomorrow after my cousin's birthday. My cousin lives up the road, so like it's not. I see him. He's 3, 4 now. 4? That doesn't sound right, but it's surprisingly right. Anyway, my cousin's 4th birthday is in the morning, so it's just a family gathering. My family all lives in one neighborhood, for those not aware.
EC3.
Like, I live down the hill with my dad and my stepmom and my younger brother. My grandparents live at the top of the hill, and then up the... my grandparents live at the top of the hill we live on, and then up a hill from them. I just went commentator mode for a second. My bad. Is my uncle and his wife and his kid.
So EC3 has to get Roman Reigns back into the ring to pin him.
But yeah, so obviously, as I was saying, though, with Black Wednesday, EC3 was the biggest victim of Black Wednesday in our universe mode. Definitely. And I'll talk about the plans for EC3 in a moment. EC3, for those that haven't seen, is WWE champion at the end of this show. Yeah. EC3 is the WWE champion by the end of this show. I'm not even kidding.
Uppercuts him.
He cashes in Money in the Bank at the end of the night. And he was released 2 days after this episode aired. And I don't have the messages anymore, and I wish I did.
EC3, though, grabs Roman.
Ray sent me a message when Black Wednesday started, just saying, well, our SummerSlam just got fucked over. And I said, it sure did. And
slides into the ring. Oh, Roman with a kick to the ribs.
So EC3 won the WWE Championship on this show. And you'll see in a few minutes, and I think it's about to happen.
What?
Yeah, it is. Braun Strowman comes out.
That's the monster among men.
EC3's had Drake Maverick in his corner in universe mode at this point. And now Braun Strowman marches down to the ring, and he does this. I should have inserted an I'm not finished with you voice clip, quite honestly. And then...
Money in the Bank. Pins Roman Reigns.
So EC3 now has his manager in Drake Maverick and his muscle in Braun Strowman.
That was what did it in for Roman. Then
EC3's got a faction now. I hadn't really named them.
Hit him with the 1%er for the win.
I hadn't figured out a name for their team, and I never am going to have to. So EC3 is WWE champion by the end of the show, as I've said. And he went on to defend it against Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan at Clash of Champions, and he lost it to Roman Reigns because Roman Reigns turned heel.
EC3.
And that was it. EC3 was gone after that match. No one ever saw him again. Like, I don't have an alumni section on the Universe Mode rosters. Maybe I should add one. Depends on what you guys think. Really just depends on if people actually want me to add one. There's a lot of people to put in there now. There are some people who are alumni that I'm just not even going to give the time of day to put in there, though, for various reasons.
Murphy making his way to the ring.
EC3 was supposed to retain against just Daniel Bryan at Clash of Champions.
His way to the ring.
He was going to fight Jeff Hardy at Hell in a Cell. All the matches Roman Reigns had just replaced Roman Reigns with EC3. So it was supposed to be EC3 versus Jeff at Hell in a Cell, EC3 versus Jeff in a cage at Survivor Series, and then he would lose the belt to the Fiend at the Royal Rumble, and he would actually lose his. And I don't think we were going to do add one. Okay, Mada, just for you, I will. I might do that this stream. Who knows?
No, as I said, he's taking on a debuting star here on Monday night for the Monday Night Raw brand.
So, with EC3, as I'm saying, he lost the belt to The Fiend at TLC. And in this time, at Hell in a Cell, Braun Strowman and Drake Maverick were going to win the SmackDown Tag Team Championships from Edge and Christian. And that was going to put Christian out, just like the Usos did. Again, you're seeing where this is going. EC3 was going to lose the belt to The Fiend at the Royal Rumble. And then later in that at TLC, lose his rematch at the Rumble. Later that same show, he was going to make Braun get off the apron during the tag match, sub himself in the Freebird rules, and he and Drake Maverick were going to lose Drake and Braun's tag team championships to Miz and Morrison. Tag team titles are on the same timeline now. And so this was going to turn into Braun Strowman versus EC3 and Drake Maverick at WrestleMania. And the winners, and we kind of knew EC3 was on his way out the door at this point, because it had been rumored that he was going to be leaving at this point. So Braun was going to send him off at WrestleMania, but we didn't get that luxury. We took Drake Maverick off and just didn't bring him back till the draft. Speaking of, by the way, people that WWE is royally fucked over. Hi, Aleister Black. This was your Universe Mode debut. This was Aleister Black's Universe Mode debut. A year ago. This is the only pay-per-view he appears on where he doesn't have the U.S. title in his hand at some point in the show.
This is going to be the in-ring debut.
Aleister Black has only lost one match in Universe Mode. And he's never going to wrestle in Universe Mode again. Because we know, as soon as we bring him back, Aleister Black will be released by WWE. Because he is sitting in catering, waiting for WWE and his contract to run out. And it's heartbreaking. Because this man has everything you want in a main event star. This man should be a world champion by now. This man was supposed to be fighting Finn Balor for the WWE Championship in Universe Mode tomorrow. I'm not kidding you. This Bobby Roode situation with Finn Balor, supposed to be this guy. I'm not kidding. Black needs to go back to Triple H. I agree. But they won't let him. They won't let him.
Started off with a tie-up. Aleister Black grabs him by the neck. Murphy pushes Black into the
This Murphy attire is great. Only downside is that the pants don't have physics assigned to them.
Oh, Murphy went for an arm drag.
So they're just stiff as boards, and it bothers me.
Aleister Black with a right hand.
I like the Messiah Slayer attire we've got him in right now, but obviously, it's the end of his story with Seth Rollins tomorrow. Win, lose, or draw between those two. Their story is over tomorrow. And so Murphy's going to change attires after SummerSlam.
Aleister Black. Murphy with a right hand. Black with a right.
I am genuinely super excited for Rollins Murphy tomorrow, by the way. One of the best matches on the show.
Murphy gets caught with a right.
A lot of guys need to go back to Triple H. You are absolutely correct. The downside is with NXT is, you can only push so many people. Like Balor going back to NXT was great. I was a little down on it at first because I was like, oh, but I want to see him, on the main roster still. But I don't have to put him in NXT in Universe Mode. We didn't.
And Black, kicks Buddy Murphy.
Like, look at this. How do you not have anything for this guy? Like, I'm so sad that WrestleMania was it for him. Like, he was going to go away for a while anyway in our Universe Mode.
Throws him in the corner.
But after losing at WrestleMania because he needed time to rebuild, it would have made no sense for him to just be on Raw the next night.
Buddy Murphy, no.
But he's gone. He's not going to be in WWE anymore. And like I said, it's heartbreaking. Because this guy, not even joking, and this is not a spoiler to the Balor Roode situation, because the Balor Roode situation is very different from the Balor Black situation. Aleister Black would have been the one to beat the Demon. Black would have been WWE Champion tomorrow if Vince McMahon hadn't just taken him off TV. I'm not kidding.
For an elbow, Murphy out of the way.
And it's heartbreaking. It is so heartbreaking for me. I'm not going to be surprised if we see Tommy End in AEW before the year's out.
Knee strike to Buddy Murphy. And now Black Backslide them.
Yeah, I do agree with you, Zach. Triple H managed to make just about everyone a legitimate contender. I would say the only exceptions there are people who are meant to be jokes, like the Robert Stone brand. Speaking of, there's a Robert Stone mod, and I have just... Ray doesn't want anything to do with Robert Stone, but, I love him, so I might try and find something for him. Unfortunately, he's not, in his wrestling attire, because he's also a wrestler. I mean, he's Robbie E. He's also a wrestler. I might find something for the Robert Stone brand on Raw or SmackDown next season. I'll think on it. You know what? I think I've got something for it. I'll keep it to myself for now, but I think I've got an idea for it. Mada, maybe I'll run it by you at some point since we swapped universe ideas from time to time.
Buddy Murphy grabs him. Murphy sends him off the rope. And Buddy Murphy pops him up, big knee strike.
Speaking of guys WWE doesn't have much for, Murphy, another great example.
Has Aleister Black back up, and Murphy boots him in the head. Down goes
Murphy's at least finally back on TV, but he lost to Cesaro. I mean, I don't know where the situation with Rollins is going with him in real life, but
Aleister Black's down.
It is kind of weirdly fitting, though, for Aleister Black in Universe Mode. And I say it's weirdly fitting because he made his debut beating Buddy Murphy, and he leaves Universe Mode losing to Buddy Murphy. We need an LA Knight debut. Oh, don't worry, Zach. Don't worry. We have LA Knight's debut planned. Just keep this in mind, all right? LA Knight's coming to Universe Mode. He's coming. But just keep in mind. We held off on Finn Balor until the Royal Rumble, and he won the thing. We held off on EC3 until Money in the Bank, and he won Money in the Bank. So just know, we're holding off on LA Knight for a reason. Typically, we held off on Timothy Thatcher and Karrion Kross for a long time. Thatcher came in and beat AJ Styles. Karrion Kross came in as North American champion. When we hold people off, we hold them off for a reason.
Look at this. Lifting Buddy Murphy up by the chin.
And so, I will admit, there's a bit of a fib at WrestleMania, and that's that Murphy's the first person to kick out of the Black Mass at WrestleMania. He kicks out of it clearly here. I knew about it, but I thought not enough people watch SummerSlam to remember.
Aleister Black trying to make Buddy Murphy fade to black.
So I did tell a fib that Murphy was the first person to kick out at WrestleMania. I twisted it just enough to where people wouldn't think about it.
Oh, whip for the knee. Aleister Black out of the way.
And I think as soon as Murphy kicked out of the Black Mass, you guys probably knew he was winning the U.S. title that night.
Elbow shot to Buddy Murphy. Turns him around. Kicks him again. And now Aleister
We need me to do an LA Knight promo on NXT. Who said he's going to NXT?
Sits down next to Buddy Murphy.
He'll cut promos. Nobody said what show he'll be on.
Aleister Black went for an elbow. Buddy Murphy out of the way. Aleister Black rolls back. Black. Right hand. Left hook. Black Mass.
Did Murphy kick out of 2 Black Masses?
1, 2, 3.
Nope, he didn't. We're good. I genuinely couldn't remember if he kicked out of 1 or 2.
What a debut.
He kicked out of 2 at WrestleMania, so it still progresses the story a little bit, I suppose. Man, it's kind of crazy. We are 4 matches in now. Let me check. 5 matches in, and at least one person from every match, with the exception of Zayn Nakamura, is either not in Universe anymore or is not on the card tomorrow.
What a debut.
Although I will say about LA Knight, before I start doing promos, I probably need to watch some IRL LA Knight promos and some Eli Drake promos first, just to make sure I'm doing it right. Like, Ray watched every Firefly Funhouse before he did the Firefly Funhouses that he did for me. Match where nobody involved is at SummerSlam tomorrow, and another victim of Black Wednesday. Hey, Gallows and Anderson. Oh, this one just makes me sad. Yet another team I miss, but they're in that Impact AEW Forbidden Door that we have. I miss these guys too, and they're never coming back to WWE. Like, FTR might when Triple H is in control eventually. It's debatable. Murphy's 205 Live run was great. Not many people watched it. I watched enough of it to know it was great. I think there's a lot of mileage to be gotten out of Buddy Murphy as a single star, as a babyface, or a heel, honestly. There's a lot of mileage you can get out of Murphy. They just, for some reason, don't have any interest in pushing him, and I don't know why. I genuinely don't know why. Maybe it's because he doesn't have... Maybe it's because he sounds funny, because he's from another country. I don't know. So he's got to be a heel because he's from another country. Which, yeah, I know Cesaro and Drew and Nakamura are faces, but my point, I'm making just a blanket statement here. Viking Raiders, War Raiders, I will never call them the Viking Experience, and they're still Hanson and Rowe in Universe Mode right now. That's just because I haven't had a reason to change their names to Eric and Ivar. It doesn't matter. They're the War Raiders. They're the Viking Raiders. It doesn't matter. They'll just never be the Viking. They'll never be the Viking Experience. Don't worry, because that's a stupid name. I really like the Viking Raiders. They're just a matter of everyone gets their time in the spotlight, and they have theirs for a few months.
Since we started Universe,
I gave them the first 4 months of Universe. Vince can't do anything with Murphy without Rollins. I mean, that maybe I don't know. We haven't seen what Vince can do with Murphy without Rollins. Who knows? Who knows? Vince McMahon pisses me. I've never loved and hated somebody more than I love and hate Vince McMahon. War Machine, yeah, another name for them. That's their Ring of Honor name, I'm aware. I've just always referred to them as the Viking Raiders at this point because they've been the Viking Raiders for so long that it's just kind of stuck with me now. Like, I knew them as the War Raiders first. I didn't know them as War Machine first. Which I think War Machine's a great name, but I knew them as the War Raiders first. I was just going to ignore the fact that they got called the Viking Experience. And they were going to continue to be the War Raiders in Universe Mode. And then they became the Viking Raiders. And I was like, it works. That's not horrible. What was horrible, though, was their feud with the Street Profits until they got that actual match out of them finally. Final of work. Can't wait to see what I missed. Where's Ray? Well, don't worry, Carol. You don't have to go back and rewatch this. This is a watch along of last year's SummerSlam. This year's SummerSlam is tomorrow. We're just watching last year's to get everyone in the mood and for me to tell some backstage secrets. Like you can see Gallows and Anderson, so you know this ain't current. Ray is either at Walmart, at the laundromat, or putting up the things he bought from Walmart and putting up his clothes from the laundromat. I don't know. He texted me at 5 o'clock asking if we could push the stream back an hour, and I took 30 minutes to decide and said, no, I'll go solo. We promised everyone we'd go live at 6, so I'm going live at 6. Yeah, it is too bad that Hanson got a neck injury in real life. It is too bad. But yeah, Carol, I don't know. I don't know.
Here comes Carl Anderson.
But I have a feeling he's not far away. Wherever Ray is. I have a feeling he's not far away.
Hello, everyone!
Well, better late than never.
Carl Anderson.
Okay, I told you. I texted you. I was like, we can either delay an hour or...
off the War Raiders and Rey Mysterio on Raw in 6-man tag action.
You're just judgmental.
Mm-hmm.
You've cut so many before it had so many things been late, but whenever I do it, I'm the asshole.
I've what now?
Gallows and Anderson. Super kick.
I said, somehow when you cut things short, I can't control it, but when I do it, I'm the dick.
Don't worry, Ray. Carol just got here too, so you're good.
Yeah, but Carol doesn't make me.
And
whatever.
Throws him into the corner. Tag mate, here comes Rowe.
Well, we are on the the neck injury probably ruined War Machine role for Vince probably.
Cover.
So we've just been talking with people in chat. Ray, just so you can see where we're at, we are at the OC versus the War Raiders for the Raw tag
Well, I'm not
titles.
gonna have it turned on. Just watch the stream thing.
Now Rowe went for a right.
Yeah, I'm just showing you where we're at. We have 4 matches
Carl Anderson
left.
with a clothesline.
So I've already told the story of EC3 and how he was the biggest victim of Black Wednesday.
Now grabbing the back of the neck. And Carl Anderson.
Carol asked, "Did you ever get that Dr. Pepper she paid me to give you?" Not yet. We haven't been together yet. We were supposed to be together this weekend, but I had some familial stuff. I told everyone else already, but yeah, I got to go to my 4-year-old cousin's birthday party at 11 o'clock tomorrow. So I'm only going to stick around an hour, and I'm going to make sure that people know I've got obligations tomorrow.
Anderson back up to his feet. Rowe throws Anderson in the corner.
AKA, our SummerSlam starts at noon, and you and I, buddy boy, have to commentate at least Clash of Champions, if not Clash of Champions and Halloween Havoc.
Of the War Raiders.
I feel like we've talked about Halloween Havoc on streams enough for people to know we're doing a Halloween Havoc in Universe mode.
NXT, baby.
Here, let me see if I can find one of the promotional images you gave me. Not like the poster for it, but or not the main event of it, because we haven't revealed the main event of it yet. But if I can find that poster you made, that's not giving away much.
Gallows takes him down.
Okay, I found it.
Gallows, no,
This is genuinely one of my favorite things Ray has made for Universe.
Thrown off the ropes and over the top by Luke Gallows, and Gallows slams him back in. Now stomp from Gallows to Rowe. Kick to the back.
Okay, there we go. No, I'm not taking off of SummerSlam. Don't worry. Don't worry. I'll be there, Carol. I will be there. I have to be there. I can't not be there. I can't let myself not be there. But so I guess I can announce real quick that 4 weeks from this coming up Wednesday. Yeah, so the NXT after Clash of Champions at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it will not go up at 11 a.m. It will instead be going up at 12 because it will be a premiere rather than a regular show. It is going to be NXT Halloween Havoc.
Anderson picks him up and suplexes him back in the ring. Rowe is down. Anderson, Rowe back to his feet. Big forearm strike. Takes down Carl Anderson. Tag made. Here comes Hansen.
Calling them Hansen and Rowe feels weird at this point. But like, or hearing me call them Hansen and Rowe feels weird. But like, I'm probably still going to do it because I think Eric and Ivar are dumb names to give them.
Right hand, no. Carl Anderson out of the way. Carl Anderson grabs him.
Like, I get it. Haha. Eric and Ivar are famous Vikings. So let's name the guys with Viking gimmicks after them. But you get my point.
Ivar's a famous Viking. Eric's like a generic Viking name. So many people are named Eric.
Like Leif Erikson. Right? Oh, no.
No. Like Ivar the Boneless.
Hansen picks up Luke Gallows.
Okay, my whole right monitor is just... Okay, there we go.
Him, but Gallows' leg is under the ropes. Neck breaker connect.
Speaking of SpongeBob, guess what I watched the other day?
What did you watch the other day, Ray?
The Nasty Daddy.
Oh no.
Gallows with a clothesline.
Look, TurboTax. I know tax day is a month away. Let me keep being stressed and don't remind me I still have to pay mine.
Boots Hansen in the face. And down he goes. And now Luke Gallows picks him
I don't think I owe anything taxes.
Gallows.
Yeah, because you're a W-2 employee. I was a 1099 employee this year.
Yeah. So, but here's the thing. I have not filed my taxes in years, so I have 3 years of taxes to file.
Into Magic Killer.
That's I'll probably get a fair bit of money.
Cover on Anderson.
Appreciate you plugging the stream, Mada.
2, 3.
There we go.
Rowe just a second.
So yeah, yet another title reign cut short because of Black Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
Just like that, we have new Raw Tag Team Champions.
I mean, I don't know about you, Carol, but I have to.
What?
Carol says taxes. Wait, are we supposed to file those? Only if you owe stuff, I suppose.
Yeah, they don't really care if you don't owe anything.
Yeah, they'll happily keep your money that they took from you.
Huge win for the
Ray, you're going to get arrested.
No. You're actually not legally required to file taxes till you're 21.
I'm sorry, what?
You're not legally required to file taxes till you're 21.
Son of a bitch. Because I already started filing mine, so I owe the money at this point.
Huge win.
Could have evaded it one more year.
More action coming up. Up next, more championship action.
Also, yeah, and I remind you, like, they only arrest you if you don't pay taxes.
That's true.
If you just don't file taxes, they don't do
The
it.
championship is on the line. Up next.
So this matchup was was a matter of we had no one else to challenge Ciampa, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna say this though. The government knows everything you fucking buy anyway, so taxes are extensively pointless.
So this was also the last time that we used the white strap Intercontinental title.
Good belt.
Yeah,
like
rest in peace to the great belt.
This is not political. Just to give you this example, it's something called automatic return filing. Essentially, the government knows how much you have already, and they know how much you owe. So they just take all that out automatically, and then they'll send you a check in the mail.
Tonight is a big night for Kofi.
Do you want to know
championship opportunity?
What two people thought automatic return filing should be a thing in this country? Barack Obama and Ronald Reagan.
So Carol says, "Hey, Xander, got any Funkos to sell?" I don't at the moment. None that you would want. You've already taken your pickings from my collection, Carol. I sold my Brock Lesnar this week.
So as I eat disgustingly, I haven't eaten all day.
Zach says Kofi Mania, and then Mada and PNT Wrestling, so Prince and Trey Wrestling, say, Xander, did you see we're getting another Rollins? Is it the new one where they're doing the Rey Mysterio attire he wore at SummerSlam? If so, yes. Also, wow, I've forgotten about Ciampa not having his Hugging Goldie entrance at this point, because I hadn't learned how to port entrances into the game yet.
Oh, yeah.
It's weird just seeing him casually carry a belt instead of holding one like in his arms.
So I want to bring this idea to you guys. So in case you didn't know, I ranked all the Marvel movies earlier this week, and the response was pretty good. Other than Xander, who was angry at how high I ranked Iron Man 3.
One tonight, Ciampa. Unpinned, unsubmitted here in Universe thus far.
Xander hates Iron Man 3.
First episode of SmackDown.
I love Iron Man 3, but whatever. See, even that, like that one sentence that caused his face to contort. I'm like, anyway. So would you guys like short videos like that? Like video... low production cost, just quick videos, or just like me to release a video on breathing nerddom every few months.
One way or another, this is the last
all to you, pal.
So
yeah.
Also,
because
Xander, I'm not saying this to be an every week thing. I do want to start watching like superhero movies with Xander on breathing nerddom because I feel like that'd be more fun than watching wrestling events sometimes.
Mada says, Zach says, got any new wrestling figures lately? Oh, yes, I did. I got the new Keith Lee
AEW figures.
Let me have my fun.
No.
So
you've had your fun for an hour before I got here.
Anyway, I got the new Keith Lee Elite. I got the new King Corbin Elite. I got this Dakota Kai basic that I haven't opened yet. I got the Tegan Knox basic. Who else did I
get? Flying Seth Rollins action figures.
What was that?
One kick out.
You have a problem buying Seth Rollins action figures.
I actually haven't bought new Rollins in a few years.
You watch Iron Man 3 again on Disney Plus. It gets a lot better.
Okay.
I was a big fan, and I saw it again. I liked it a lot more.
So and then the final figure that I bought. What was it? And I got this Shorty G basic because I'm gonna pop his head off and put it onto my Chad Gable Elite. But
back up. Ciampa with a chop. Kofi Kingston grabs him. Then Kofi.
Riho.
And kicks down Ciampa.
Bastard Pac.
Rolls out of the way. Kofi. Oh,
Matthew and Nicholas Jackson, the Bucks of Youth.
Into a cover now. Kofi.
Sting's son, Darby Allin.
Kicks out.
And Orange Cassidy.
Now Kofi turns him around.
So
Kofi.
I've been playing Xander forever. I'm getting a regular series out of it. He shouldn't make YouTube videos where he talks about figures.
Now Kofi picks Ciampa back.
Possibly.
Kofi.
Because I didn't give you a name.
Ciampa out of the way. Ciampa grabs Kofi.
Figuratively speaking.
Yeah, it's true. I don't know. I just don't think that fits on LS11 Universe as well.
Yeah.
Oh, a knee to the head and a big clothesline.
When has Ciampa done that? He hasn't done that in He hasn't done that in Universe since then, I think.
Kofi.
That was a cool move.
Kofi raining down with right hands to Ciampa.
Well, that's embarrassing, Carol. Thanks for letting me know.
What?
We apparently just saw my ass when I bent over.
Grabs Kofi. And
That's embarrassing.
Ciampa went for a knee. Oh, his knee bounced off the turnbuckle. Kofi DDTs him again. That's Kofi getting fired up.
So I've been messaging Zander whilst I've been rewatching him. I rewatched the entire Sam Raimi trilogy this week.
And now I've backed the stream up to see if they actually.
Ciampa trying to crawl back to
Like I both. You did not see my ass crack. You saw the. You saw my lower back.
Kofi's got him. Kofi mentioned driver to Tommaso Ciampa.
So
some of the people Ciampa's beat for the.
I just have a lot of hair. Is all. That's where I leave it. And that's the end of that gross conversation. Zach, bringing it back to wrestling. Thank you. Says LA Knight promo is like an MJF style promo. Roasting people. Good to know. We were talking about LA Knight earlier, and I just kind of left it on the vague note of because Zach said we need LA Knight in Universe mode, and I told him I agree. But just keep in mind when we hold people off, it's because there's something big coming.
And again.
Oh yeah.
Ciampa picks up Kofi. Ciampa, went for a kick. Kofi caught him. Kofi grabs him by the knee. Ciampa in some serious trouble here. Ciampa scratching and clawing his way.
So, show of hands, who actually thought Kofi was taking the title off Ciampa at this SummerSlam?
Now Kofi
So I thought.
Kofi.
I think, but maybe a few of them did. Because I think maybe this was before the obvious love we have with Tommaso Ciampa.
Yeah. I mean, we did bring him in, and he won the Intercontinental title within the first month. But who knows? God, yeah, this was only. I mean, this was 4 months in the universe. Ciampa had only held the title for 3 months at this point. His previous defenses had been against Nakamura and Zayn in a triple threat, and Chad Gable at Money in the Bank. His defense with Gable, fucking amazing, by the way. That match with Gable at Money in the Bank still holds up.
Off the ropes, big crossbody, cover on the champion. One.
Also, shout out to this Tommaso Ciampa attire that we're still using right now. It gets replaced tomorrow at SummerSlam, by the way. It is, but it's finally being replaced at SummerSlam.
Yeah, okay,
tomorrow.
so I'm going to bring this up.
The fairy tale ending.
At this point.
1, 2, 3.
Okay. Ciampa just retained the Intercontinental Championship. Tomorrow he's facing Johnny Gargano. 2 weeks before this, Johnny Gargano had beat Mike Kanellis for the Cruiserweight Championship on NXT TakeOver
Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Huge victory for the
Yes, I made Mike Kanellis a Cruiserweight Champion. I thought he was sticking around.
Another victim of Black Wednesday. Zach says, can't believe that he went from carrying Drew's bags and Impact to being signed to WWE as a top heel. Referring to LA Knight, I believe.
Eli Drake's been a big star in Impact for a while. Unless there was a story, because I don't watch Impact.
Yeah, neither do I. Haven't watched Impact ever. I watched the episode with Kenny on
you. Like watching landscapers weed whack at the house next door.
Oh, here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are down to our final 3 matches, all of them for championships.
So we need Drew versus Knight. We'll see. We'll see what you'll just have to see what we do. I actually have not started making my dinner yet, so it's going to be a late dinner for me. And so this was This was the real landscape-changing Night of Universe mode.
Yeah.
Like,
Excuse me, my mind is still a match behind.
I'll just bring this up. Speaking of food, when I come over to your house, I am cooking for your family. I figured out what I'm making.
Here comes
okay.
the Scottish psychopath.
You want to know?
Sure.
So I will cook meat separately, but I'm gonna cook a big pot of black beans and rice so your father can actually eat food. And I'll make like chicken in the oven or something to make it a chocolate.
No.
Huh?
I said I'll have to let them know about that when I see them tonight.
If they want me to. If they don't want me to, I won't do it.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'll let them know that that's something you'd like to do for them.
If they don't want me to, I'm not going to argue with them.
Well, yeah.
I don't know about that. Ray, he feels like the kind of person to drop boiling water on the floor.
You kind of do, though. You kind of have a track record for being clumsy.
Not actually in the kitchen, though. I mean, I do when I'm handling dull knives. Not recently. I haven't had a kitchen accident in like a year.
So I've got 7 wrestling figures over here I haven't opened yet, and I've had all of them for like 2 weeks. Yeah, me too, Carol. This is also, God, it's weird seeing Drew like this as well.
Yeah.
And then here we go, something we haven't heard in a while. Everyone go quiet, guys. I kind of miss this theme, but it doesn't fit the Monday Night Messiah character, so...
It does not.
But for some reason in real life they're using it. We found a replacement for the Monday Night Messiah theme that fits the character still. That'll debut after SummerSlam. We surprisingly didn't get caught with the Monday Night Messiah theme with a copyright claim this time around, so that's good. God, that attire was actually really cool.
Our Universal Champion. He's been a great champion so far. He stepped up to all.
And so it's funny. There's actually a reason why he had this special attire.
Randy Orton, Rusev.
Why was that again?
There was a weird glitch when I bought 2K19 on PC where Seth Rollins' hair was going fucking bananas during his entrance. And that didn't look good for our world champion. So I had to mod in a new attire for him. And the first thing I found was this Avengers Endgame Quantum Suit inspired attire. And I thought, okay, that's pretty cool. And so I went with that.
Gather that from it.
Really?
No.
I immediately saw it. I kind of wish they would make a figure out of this attire. I'd buy it. Shut up.
I bet there's like an issue with Marvel rights.
Probably. Then again, I think we're supposed to be getting the. At one point in time, we were supposed to get the Gargano Wolverine attire. Zach says, "Here comes my boy." Zach says, "Here comes my boy Rollins, the greatest wrestler alive today, the man that gives you the views, Seth Rollins. The only part I can't argue with is the man that gives us the views."
That's the Fiend.
No, Seth Rollins brings in the most views. I'm not even kidding. Rollins in the thumbnail consistently brings the highest views. It's kind of crazy. This week's Raw, and this is how I know. This week's Raw, I believe, is the first time Rollins has been in the thumbnail in a while. Highest viewed episode of Universe in like 2 months. Let's see here. Yeah, what's up?
I feel like you're about to be pushing Paul Bettany on the Avengers Infinity War press tour.
Talking about Rollins, he's had a great jump.
Wait,
You
what?
know what I'm talking about?
Raw against Ricochet.
I don't know what you just said.
So Paul Bettany, who plays Vision,
Rollins, of course,
Yeah.
he was going around doing press for Avengers Infinity War.
Rollins and McIntyre.
They kept asking him for spoilers on what was going to happen. And he kept looking at his castmates and going, "Snitches end up in ditches." And the look, and every time it was like kind of comedic. It was like, "Snitches end up in ditches." Like, just like, don't say anything.
Brutalizing Rollins to start it off.
But then someone asked Tom Holland what was going to happen. And he like looked at him in the most serious way possible, going, "Snitches end up in ditches."
Zach says, all your subs embrace the vision. So the funny thing is, most of the people that watch our series aren't fucking subscribed.
There's a chop.
Please subscribe to watch the series.
Like, I'm not even joking. I'll pull up the stats. Ray, you've seen this at one point. At one point in time, our subbed versus not subbed balance was ridiculous. It was like 99% unsubscribed at one point.
Clothesline. And through right hand.
Let's see.
Headbutt.
Here we go. Engagement. Yeah, here we go. So I don't know how much people can actually see this, but just from this month.
Rollins goes down.
That's there we go. Not subscribed, 76%. Or 73%, my bad.
Get subscribing, people.
McIntyre chops him. Does it again.
And like I don't mention it in videos because I'm personally not a fan of the whole like, hey, and YouTube tells me 73% of you guys aren't subscribed.
One. No, Rollins kicks out.
I'm not a fan of that either. But I'm also, but that's because most of our videos are kind of set in a big universe type thing.
Yeah, and Zach, I do appreciate you being subbed, obviously.
I don't want to break the immersion.
Right, I already had to break the immersion a couple times in the build up to Bad Blood. So rather, I can tell you this because it's not that big of a spoiler. There's a match booked in the build up to Bad Blood that features Shotzi Blackheart. I had to remove her from that match.
Why?
Her mod is messed up.
Oh,
she came down to the ring just fine, but then as soon as the match started, she turned into Leon Ruff.
And Drew McIntyre now.
I don't know either.
Tying up the arm of Seth Rollins.
I don't understand.
Rollins working over the knee of McIntyre now, and Rollins trying to fight out of it. Right hand and an arm drag.
Zander, you know what John clip to play.
Now Seth Rollins stomping on Drew. Drew back to his feet, and Drew grabs Rollins. Throws him in the corner.
You've confused me.
McIntyre, no, nobody home.
Almost immediately, and you promised me you weren't going to do that.
Rollins and throws him into the mat.
That one?
Yep.
Dragging him away from the ropes.
That's why I don't promise not to confuse people.
Kick out.
I also may have gone over your head and made an executive decision on an episode of Raw.
And Rollins trying to knock McIntyre back. McIntyre.
What did you do?
I just replaced someone in the match. Just because I looked at who was supposed to be wrestling that match and was like, that's a bit boring, and replaced someone.
With Rollins, look at the strength, deadlifts him.
Don't worry, it doesn't mess up any storylines. I'll tell you after the stream.
Now Drew McIntyre scanning over.
Plus, it's Raw. That's my area to kind of just throw things at the wall.
So, after watching the Spider-Man trilogy, I decided, you know what? I'm going to punish myself a little bit. Amazing Spider-Man.
No, Ray.
And
grabs Drew.
Not as bad as I remember.
Sends him across the ring.
So we should probably talk about Universe during this match a little bit because I've been talking about Universe for every match. So I should at least talk about what was going on with this match. And so Rollins was the default Universal Champion in the game. And so we just kind of, or he wasn't the default in the game, but he was the real life Universal Champion. He was the real life Universal Champion at the time of recording when we were starting the universe. So we made him the Universal Champion in the game. I could be wrong. It might have actually been the Fiend that was Universal Champion, but one, we didn't have the Fiend yet because he wasn't available on launch day for 2K20, which was stupid. And two, the Fiend is very hard to book, and I hate booking the Fiend personally.
I've made no secret.
Yeah, I've made no attempt to hide that I don't like booking the Fiend. So we kept it as Seth Rollins, and this was just a matter of it was time for someone new to take the spot as Raw's top champion. And Drew McIntyre, just out of everyone we had at our disposal at the time, Drew McIntyre was the option.
Yeah,
I mean,
now, did we keep the feud going on too long? Yes.
Yes. This feud starts in the build to SummerSlam and ends at TLC.
Yeah, it was like the feud that wouldn't die. And I kept telling you need to change it up. No. They don't get it.
Cover.
And they did.
1,
They did, though. I'm like, you and I are in the minority of not liking how long Rollins Drew went on.
Then again, I'm looking best of 5.
Rollins,
So.
right hand, went for a
But the
shot.
best of 5 was over in 2
Picks
months.
him up. McIntyre has Rollins up. And just throws
Why
him
am I
to the
trying to
outside.
give you a break and you're like refuting it?
I don't want your charity.
Through with a right. Went for a clothesline.
I'm sorry, I had to.
Throws him back in the ring.
Xander gets some
Now
sympathy.
Seth Rollins
And then you're like, no!
kicks Drew McIntyre. Has him up. And Rollins power bombs him. And now Rollins again managing to get McIntyre.
I think I was playing as Rollins.
Picks him up.
Yeah, because I was trying to do the buckle bomb.
Turns
But the game
over.
wouldn't let me.
Fireman's carry. Throws Drew into the ropes. Rollins having to try and
It
turn
took
this
you
around
so
for
long. It took me telling you to let you know that's called a stun
Smash.
gun.
And another. Rollins into a sling
Shut
blade.
up. I still forget to call it a stun gun frequently.
And the only reason I know that is because that's what they called it when Sonny Steve Austin did it in WCW.
Yeah, that's how I knew it too.
Grabs
I'd
Drew.
forgotten. And look, you can see again, I was trying to do the buckle bomb.
First off the turnbuckle. Now Rollins calling him up
It's too
again.
dangerous.
Rolls McIntyre through.
Yet every other person in the game has the ability to do it.
Rollins looking to fly. And Rollins went for the moonsault.
I didn't keep track of how many tacos I ate. I'm sure like if someone that went back and like counted, they'd be like,
And
Jesus.
now Drew headbutts him. Right hand went for a chop. Rollins
Okay,
on the shoulder of McIntyre. Rollins managed to
so,
slip out of it.
Those
Now
of you,
Rollins.
I told Xander this earlier today, and everyone, I have it on full screen right now. But I have to full screen comments when I say this
And another.
because
more.
I'm pretty sure like it will be like the biggest
Drew now
shock
picks him
of
up. Drew
anyone.
McIntyre spins him out, slams him into the man.
What?
And
I
McIntyre
have
lifts him
decided
up.
to stop smoking pot.
Has Rollins up
Oh, yeah.
for the air raid crash.
I'm waiting to see the comments rolling up. Ray
Rollins
decided
recovers.
to stop.
1.
Yeah. So Hoodie Hanzo asked, do we use 19 or 20? We use a modded 2K19. And then Zach says, prediction for tomorrow, Kevin Owens is going to bring back a dark side of himself against Sami Zayn, and he will bring back the package pile driver.
Future shock. 1,
Who knows?
2, 3.
And I believe this was the last time I allowed Drew McIntyre to use the Future Shock.
I like the future shock.
Just like that.
Dean Ambrose or John Moxley
Universal
is the reason I don't let anyone
champion,
else
and
do
his
it.
name is Drew McIntyre.
Who?
Rollins gave the fight his all.
John Moxley. I get you're doing a
Put
bit.
him away with the
I refuse.
So what are you gonna have for dinner when you wrap this up, Xander?
I've got a buffalo chicken stuffed crust pizza in the freezer.
We got more action coming up next.
Are we going to see a hockey fight between KO and Sammy? If the game would let me, I would have.
Oh,
So, you know what's funny about this match?
Championship change.
wait, Xander, do you mean?
That's right. It's time for the Raw Women's Championship matchup.
Nope, we don't have it.
What were you looking for?
We don't have it. Never mind.
What were you looking for?
None of your business, man.
Yeah, Zach, I knew exactly what you meant by hockey fight. When they just get right up in there and they grab one another and they're doing that.
The former NXT
See,
Women's
Carol
Champion.
knows.
Yeah, that's what I was laughing at. Yeah, I knew exactly what you meant, Zach. The game just doesn't let me do it. So do you know what the funny thing about this matchup between Shayna Baszler and Becky Lynch is?
What?
It's happening tomorrow at SummerSlam
Yep.
for the SmackDown Women's Championship.
Do we intend
With
for that to
Shayna
happen?
Baszler
No.
walking.
Shayna Baszler, of course, this time.
And Shayna Baszler is walking in champion this time.
Now tonight, She fights.
Shayna Baszler is another person whose theme always gets us a copyright claim if I don't talk too much during it.
Baszler, former MMA cage fighter.
Like,
Now tonight.
it's kind of annoying, honestly, how often I get copyrighted for "Loyalty is Everything" because what the song is called, apparently.
The quote-unquote man.
And Zach says KO versus Sammy equals hockey fights. I agree. I do wish I could do it, but it's not possible. And this was before I had Becky's new entrance in the game.
So do you want to know what I was looking for?
What's that?
Pizza
Not
time.
been a good night to be a champion.
Yeah, I haven't gotten that one back yet.
Universe mode tonight. The only champion that has retained their championship tonight.
I might have it on my computer still, though.
Intercontinental champion.
That's fine.
Tommaso Ciampa. So not a good night for Becky Lynch, stats wise.
I'm going to spoil anything for her because she's a very talented creator.
Becky Lynch is always.
But I've taken like I guess an assistant role or like an advisor role in this short film or web series that she wants to do. She's doing a short film. She wants it to be a web series, and it's called the Life of a Sidekick. And it's a superhero show that she's writing. My friend Aliona. And I've kind of taken on like a role in it, like trying to help her advise. I might play a part in it. If I play a part in a short film or anything, I'll be sure to link you guys to that. But I want to see Xander's reaction right here. She's like, I need a J. Jonah Jameson type. And I was like, I know a guy.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So, but we already have some people. But if we
wait,
can't,
hang on.
Wait.
Xander. Wait. You serious?
That is the prize they fight for tonight. So Raw
He stole my suit. He's a menace to the entire city. I want him prosecuted. I want him prisoned. I want Spider-Man.
I actually winded myself doing that laugh because I had to like force it.
So I'm very would be so happy to see Xander play over Jonah Jameson.
Flips over the.
I would love it.
You know, down to one knee and Lynch. Oh,
Zach says in universe mode, Becky versus Shayna is KO versus Sammy. They always find a way to fight one another. You're not wrong.
And knocks her back. Now Shayna Baszler.
And Gargano and Ciampa also do that. We have people.
Out of it.
Like we have several best. Well, no, we only have two. We have two best enemies.
Grabs Shayna. Attacks the arm, setting Shayna.
We definitely have a handful of sets of like they will always find a way to be against one another.
Shayna Baszler, she can. She wants to lock that in and get the
Zayn Owens, Gargano, Ciampa, Lynch, Baszler.
Back up to her feet. Becky with a kick to the ribs.
I would argue Rollins, McIntyre.
Shayna Baszler went for a right hand. Baszler catches her German suplex.
Dunn Cole, kind of.
Dunn Cole, kind of. I don't know.
Kick out from Becky.
Dunn Walter might fit a bit better there.
Oh, catches her with a drop kick. Becky went for a stomp to the back now. Picks Shayna back to her feet. Becky Lynch for a right. Shayna kick to the ribs. And Shayna Baszler knee strike from Shayna to Becky.
I actually kind of hurt myself doing that J. Jonah Jameson laugh.
Counters. Becky now with Shayna. Becky Lynch. Arm drag to Shayna.
I haven't been able to refill my water for the last hour and 45 minutes. I've been here a lot.
Going after the arm, trying to soften it up.
All right, cool.
Just repeatedly slamming it into the mat. And now Becky picks Shayna up. Becky Lynch. Oh, Shayna Baszler, big clothesline. The Kurakuda clutch versus the disarm her tonight. As Shayna with a kick, went for another. Becky found the counter. Becky Lynch throws her into the corner, and Lynch forearm strike takes down Baszler. Now Becky went to grab her. Shayna pushes her away, and a big shot from Shayna Baszler.
So yeah, Shayna and Becky. This was an unintentional blood feud. We didn't intend for this to happen.
Looking to make the last
trap out. Happy to last.
Now Shayna Baszler. Oh, standing on the hand of Becky Lynch and kicks her in the arm. And now Shayna. With a stomp on the Becky Lynch.
Did I miss anything?
Another.
Nope.
And one more for good measure.
Carol says, when was the last time we saw Jobber? I don't know.
Well for in her last championship.
I haven't heard from. I've talked to Jobber in like DMs, and I've
Becky Lynch.
talked to him on like tweets, but I haven't talked. He hasn't been in his stream in a while.
No, Baszler managed to get
He might be
her
asleep
up.
right now,
Lynch
honestly.
picks her back up.
Hanzo says
But Shayna,
SummerSlam is going to be lit. Zach says, Ray, have you seen NXT where Cameron Grimes is trying to be like Redneck DiBiase? And then Hanzo says LS11 books better matches than WWE.
Still holding on.
I like how LS11 went from being me to be LS11 was my screen name to it's now us.
Down goes Becky Lynch. And now Shayna. Standing over Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch is down. Baszler just kind of waiting at this point. Becky gets back into the mat. And Becky rolls out under the bottom rope. Now
The
Shayna
universe
follows
at the
outside
end,
Becky
like it said,
and suckered her in. Becky Lynch grabs her.
And as for Zach, I don't think Ray.
The universe was.
Now Becky Lynch picks her back up. Becky Lynch. Chopping Shayna Baszler. Right hand to the head. And another. Becky Lynch firing some live rounds at Shayna Baszler now.
So,
Becky Lynch clotheslines her. Taking her back up to her feet. Shayna Baszler could be in trouble now. It's been mostly Baszler in this matchup. She's got a good bit of offense in.
I haven't seen the Redneck DiBiase.
Becky again retreats on the bottom rope.
It's not the
Oh, she grabs Shayna. Pulls her on the ropes. Becky Lynch.
It's a rip off of Jamie
Grabs her
Nobles
from behind. Back body drop.
from 2004.
Becky Lynch
That's what it is.
in her own favor. As Lynch down.
Zach then says SummerSlam, biggest fight of the summer, 11 o'clock his time. So that means he's right in the center of the U.S.
Picking her up.
Anyway,
Becky Lynch.
no, so
Grab
we talked about
Baszler
the universe.
into
Okay, this
her.
LS11 Universe
But
now
Baszler slips
collaborations.
out of it and shoves her away.
And so we kind of like went the name. That time was just ARW as the
That was man
channel.
knocks Becky out. And now Shayna calling her up to her feet. And Shayna Baszler. Kick to the ribs.
Ray, we can't hear you. You've like completely broken
Picks her
up.
into
Or at least
a
I can't hear you.
clutch. Locked in.
Huh?
And Becky Lynch.
Okay, I can hear you now. I couldn't hear you. Like you were talking and there was no sound coming.
As Baszler tightens the hold. We've only seen two people break the Karafuda clutch. And that's the current NXT Women's Champion Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair. We saw Toni Storm sit in this hold for multiple minutes.
God, that really dates this episode of Universe. The current NXT Women's Champion, Rhea Ripley.
To make Becky Lynch pass out. Lynch fighting in, she has to tap out. We have a new Raw Women's Champion.
Catch right here on the LS11 Universe channel, premiere at 11 or 12 o'clock. Yeah.
Just like
We'll be here. I'll be here.
Raw Women's
12 o'clock my time.
Yes. If I
Oh, we lost him.
And just like that.
Hey, Bert Jr., good to see you, man.
Baszler is your new
Good to see you.
Raw Women's Champion.
Not trying to call you out. I was kind of hoping you'd be at ARW last night. Jason Voorhees was on the show, and I'm pretty sure I even mentioned he lost to a block for you.
Big victory for Baszler over Becky Lynch tonight.
I could be wrong. I might not have mentioned it in the premiere. I had a lot going on yesterday, but I mentioned it in the chat at the very least for you.
It's for the WWE Championship.
Hopefully Ray can get reconnected before the main event here. I see him trying to get back in. StreamYard, or he might have just had a bad connection for a minute. Jason needs to get it together. Oh, I saw his match. All right, good to know.
Main event.
There we go. You're back. All right, our final match.
Here comes the former champion.
Oh, there is Ray again.
Now, tonight, He's the challenger.
Brock Lesnar and Daniel Bryan are SummerSlam main event. So Ray, what do you think had the better build for a SummerSlam main event? Gargano Ciampa or Bryan Lesnar? We can't hear you. Zach, I do appreciate you trying to plug.
Gargano Ciampa, but just because it's had so much to it. Yeah, I don't know why I'm fading in and out on my end here.
No idea.
You still can't hear me now?
I can hear you sometimes.
Between Heyman and Lesnar, they clearly have a plan for the night.
You can hear me now?
Yeah.
Now I can't hear you.
Oh, lovely. And I don't think I can disconnect from StreamYard. Because if I disconnect, I think it ends the stream.
Well, now I can hear you.
Okay, good.
I do not know what's going on, guys.
It happens sometimes. I believe this was the everyone has a plan until you get punched in the face. You're not wrong. I think this was the last time we had Daniel Bryan with long hair in Universe.
Daniel Bryan. He's the people's champion, the leader of the ES movement, the ultimate underdog. The one to beat the one.
I didn't hear any of that.
Didn't happen in Santa Fe where I had awesome internet.
Yeah. Yeah. It's unfortunate. And sometimes our connection to one another is perfectly fine when we're doing this kind of stuff.
Before he cut his hair again.
Yep, Bryan before he cut his hair again. Lesnar before we stopped putting him in matches. You know, say what you will about Brock Lesnar. He was at he was at every pay-per-view for the first 5 months of Universe Mode. It's the hacker. Oh no, is Bradley back?
Daniel Bryan.
Daniel Bryan fits the mold of the People's Champion. Daniel Bryan's a modern day's People's Champion. At least, yes, Daniel Bryan was.
By the time the bell rings, one of these two men will be WWE Champion.
The Rock is Hollywood's champion now, anyway.
The challenger.
Oh, there goes Ray again.
They were in Bryan's element with the ladder match last month at Money in the Bank. This time, they're in a standard match. Bryan! Oh, went for a clothesline to start it off. Lesnar. Oh, God. German suplex.
So I'm pretty sure I was actually playing as Bryan, is the funny thing. No, I was playing as Lesnar.
Starting tonight in SummerSlam. Here he goes again, another German.
The idea of the start of this match.
And Lesnar.
The idea of the start of this match was literally to give you no hope that Daniel Bryan was going to win.
Wrenching back on the arm, perhaps setting him up for the Kimura lock.
The entire idea was to give you guys no hope Bryan was going to win.
Now trying to fight out of it. Daniel Bryan back to his feet, right hand to Brock Lesnar. And Daniel Bryan gets.
God, it's still crazy. I think I recorded this match a year ago now.
Right, Bryan counter. Daniel Bryan now sends Lesnar.
I remember recording it too.
With a drop kick. Bryan's not done though. Bryan across the ring, another drop kick to Lesnar, and down goes Brock. Daniel Bryan turns him over. Lesnar, gets caught in an armbar by Bryan.
Is the belt on the line at SummerSlam?
Lesnar with a right hand and another.
Oh wait, you can't put the yeah, exactly. That would be the easiest predictions competition for me ever. I mean, Ray would know too. He and I write these shows together.
Back up to his feet. Daniel Bryan in trouble. Lesnar. Oh no! Bryan counter sends Lesnar off the ropes. Bryan ducks him. Bryan hops over him. And
I do think this is
the ribs of
best.
Lesnar.
I'm gonna say that with the mindset of I haven't seen this in a long time. But I think this might have been Brock Lesnar's best match in Universe Mode to date. I think his matchup with Riddle tomorrow is really good, though. His match with Keith Lee at Mania was pretty good. I think nothing. This matchup with Bryan was a lot of fun. I don't know. His match with Gable was good too.
And Lesnar sends him across
at our first backlash. One of the downside there is there's a couple of spots where you can see me pause the game again.
Now Lesnar. Right.
Yeah, Zach, you weren't here for SummerSlam just yet. I think you came around either just at or just after Hell in a Cell. Because I remember going back on the old channel and finding the comment where you'd asked where Universe was and replying to you a few months later, letting you know that I'd brought Universe back on this channel.
Here comes again another German.
I do remember that. I knew you weren't around yet. Because there are no comments on this SummerSlam.
No, went for another suplex. Bryan found the counter. And Daniel Bryan DDT to Lesnar. The fans firmly behind Bryan now as he picks Lesnar back up. Daniel Bryan sends Lesnar into the corner. Here comes Daniel
Bryan.
Ray. And now Bryan with Lesnar.
Okay, I can hear you. You're fine.
Bryan.
You're good.
Flips over.
Good.
Daniel Bryan
Good.
off the rope.
Okay.
Bryan.
All right.
Lesnar ducks. And Lesnar. No, Bryan.
I had to reboot my computer, but okay.
Bert Jr. asks, "Have you ever heard Murph's?" Yeah, we were actually I was talking about him earlier.
Oh, God. Here we
I'm
go.
pretty sure he's the biggest
German
Universe YouTuber.
suplex. He's got Bryan now.
Murph's.
Another German. And now
I don't watch it.
Holds on still.
I told I told Zach this earlier. I've tried. It's just it wasn't for me.
Lesnar picks up Bryan.
So that's a weird question, right? Whenever you're a YouTuber,
powerbomb position here.
and it's like, oh well, what do you watch on YouTube? And it's like,
powerbomb Bryan out of
I
the
don't.
And now Bryan looking.
Yeah, and it makes me feel bad. I watch Mada, and I watch Mada and Greg Tree, and that's it.
Lesnar counters.
Yeah, but like everyone's like, oh, what do you watch? And it's like,
oh man,
time to watch. Like,
I mean, I do watch YouTube. YouTube's primarily what I watch. Like, I've been rewatching some Chugga Conroy Let's Plays this week.
No, but like, I'm just warning people against like bigger YouTubers than us. Like, you'll ask them a lot. Like, cause a lot of YouTubers will ask, what YouTube videos do you watch?
Oh, Bryan!
And often they don't watch YouTube, or they watch very little of it because they're always developing content for their own YouTube channel.
Yeah, and that's the thing here. Like yesterday, now that we're doing pay-per-views together all the time, I get the ability now to have my microphone muted while I'm recording the pay-per-views, and I just have videos on while I'm doing that.
Yeah, but
from Lesnar to Bryan.
So I was telling you earlier. Oh, okay. So
now Lesnar hammers away on Daniel Bryan. Bryan, big running elbow.
Running knee.
Daniel Bryan. Oh,
that wasn't the running knee. That was an elbow.
Okay, Bryan up to the top now. Daniel Bryan.
Okay.
Up to the top. Brock Lesnar.
I'll say that after the match. I think you'd be like really amused by this.
Okay. Zach said, Carol says he's back. Zach says, honestly, the two biggest Universe Mode YouTubers are Murphs and Pro Jake, but we're up there too. I appreciate that. We're not up there in numbers yet, but I like to think that one day we will be.
Yeah, me too. Me too, hopefully. Gordon Perkins, they're pretty big though.
Yeah, I think they just mean, I think Edge is on SmackDown now. Yeah, I think I knew that. Yeah, because SmackDown's starting in real life right now. I'm sure Edge is out there for the Roman and Bryan contract signing. Yeah, I think in just terms of realistic, because Gore and Perkins, they just do whatever they want. Hey, all the power to them. It works for them.
Absolutely
dominating here. Pretty sure they had Gordon Ramsay wrestle a couple times in their Universe Mode. Which I wish I'd thought of that for ARW.
Do you know who you can have wrestle in ARW?
Oh my God, Bryan all the way across the
Guy Fieri.
No. I mean, the attire is already there for him with Bam Bam Bigelow's attire.
There's one more.
Yes.
Still holding on.
Okay, I'm just going to say it. I'm a fan of Guy Fieri.
And a third.
Don't mind me. See if I can find it.
over.
Oh yeah. Are you looking for the picture?
Brock picks
Maybe.
Bryan up. And Brock's got him. Center of the ring.
Yeah, I don't have it.
I do. I'm just not giving it to you.
I know how to find it. It's just not in my
One.
it's not in my computer anymore. It's a very, very long way back because it happened when I was still living at my old house.
So here's the thing. I know people are gonna make fun of me for liking Guy Fieri.
Oh God, another one.
But I have legitimate reasons for liking Guy Fieri.
Mm-hmm.
Brock Lesnar dominating now.
Okay. Here's the legitimate reasons.
Grabs him again. Oh,
One,
Bryan.
he hires everybody, even if they have a prison record. Two, he pays everyone above $15. Three, he gives healthcare plans where he has to. Four, he gives people advertisement on a national platform like that they could never afford on their own.
One more for good
Five,
measure.
he gives
Oh, but now Heyman.
pretzel making machines to inner city schools so they can fundraise. There it is. Anyway, I know that sounds ridiculous, but I swear to Christ, it's true.
Hanzo said,
And if you need a little bit more sugar on top of this medicine, he also officiated a gay wedding.
so,
But because he has flames on his shirt,
and Lesnar kicks out.
people act like treat him like he's a member of Nickelback.
Hanzo says ARW is fire. I appreciate that. Zach says, how about Buddy from Cake Boss on ARW or Chum Lee from Pawn Stars? I don't watch either of those, and I've never been a big Pawn Stars guy, especially not Chum Lee. So, plus with Chun Li from Street Fighter in there, that's a confusing mess waiting to happen.
Now Daniel Bryan.
Plus, I do try and keep a very minimum number of real world people in there. He says with himself, Steve Harvey, Lori Blake, Luke Owen, and Markiplier and Arnold Schwarzenegger on the poster for Sandermania this year. But point remains.
Big drop kick to Lesnar. Now Bryan picking him back up. Daniel Bryan grabs Lesnar. Lesnar finds the counter. Turns Bryan around. Lesnar. German to Bryan.
See, I hate how accurate I made Brock Lesnar matches in Universe mode.
Off the rope. Lesnar. Germans him again.
Like, this is painfully accurate to a real life Brock Lesnar match right now.
His client, Brock Lesnar.
I have given Zander some ideas. There was one I gave you a couple weeks ago that I didn't think you heard. It was after a match at some point, Robert Patrick should start walking down to the ramp, and then all of a sudden Arnold's behind someone. Get down!
Daniel Bryan dumps Lesnar out of the ring.
I don't remember this. Hanzo says Guy Fieri is a pretty cool guy. I've got nothing against Guy Fieri. I was just messing around.
Yeah.
Lesnar gut wrenches Bryan.
I got nothing against the guy. Fieri.
And now Lesnar with Bryan. Forcing the barricade.
Glad we were thinking the same thing.
Yeah. But, like, legitimately, Guy Fieri seems to be a cool guy.
And Lesnar.
I prefer Ray Fieri.
But only because he looked like he was electrocuted while drinking Mountain Dew. Do people treat him like shit?
He does. Oh my god, it does. He also kind of looks like my uncle.
I love the fact he has a racing stripe on his refrigerator. You'd love it if Banksy did it.
Out of the ring goes Lesnar now.
I have a Sonic the Hedgehog sticker on my fridge.
Yes, exactly.
Back to his feet.
And there's actually reasons for that.
On the retreat as Bryan back in the
and the actual reason for why I have a Sonic the Hedgehog sticker on my fridge is because I got the money to buy the fridge from selling my old Sonic the Hedgehog figures.
Brock, again, here comes the German super.
So the joke is that his sacrifice will never be forgotten.
Headman caught the turnbuckle on that one. Hits him again.
Of course, now someone I sold some of the figures to is sending them back to me for a refund because they broke one of the figures. And it's within the eBay 30-day policy. So as long as they don't disclose that they're the one that broke the figure, they have no proof that I didn't send it broken.
One.
So that's fun.
Two. What the hell?
Which, they have
Daniel Bryan.
I feel like you should be able to send eBay a picture before you ship it out,
If you thought
saying
Brock
these
was
are
mad
the
before.
condition that I am shipping these
Bryan.
things in
Whoa.
right
Lesnar's
now.
head caught that bottom turnbuckle on the
Yeah,
way.
but
And now Bryan's
who's
got
to
it.
stop you from
Daniel
taking
Bryan.
pictures before they break?
Big kick to the head of
Like,
Yeah.
and then them
Well,
being
also,
broken when you
there
do ship
needs to
them.
be a way around this so that the seller doesn't get screwed.
Kicks it down.
Yeah, because this is like a $70 figure.
Because like how eBay works and how it's worked for a while, because I had people sell things on eBay before, is
With another
the
kick.
buyer, even if they're at fault, they get their money back.
What is Heyman doing
Yep.
now?
That's my big problem.
Oh, Bryan calling up Lesnar. Only pause this whole
Oh, for fuck's sake. We can't escape them even on live streams. Come on.
You're looking your issues in the eye.
Lesnar into the corner now.
That's why I have this now.
Drags himself up into the corner. Both men have given it their all.
Like,
Bryan with a drop kick.
you can see where I write down how many pauses are in an episode, and I count them out as I edit.
Here we go.
Come on.
Running knee.
The fact I even go, only pause this match.
3. Daniel Bryan beats the Beast.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
So Xander, I'm going to tell you about this, but before I do, I have to ask, when was the last time you watched The Amazing Spider-Man?
When it came out.
Daniel Bryan survived Brock Lesnar tonight.
Uncle Ben, at one point in the movie, says this to Peter. I loved your father, but he had a code. And that code was, if you have extraordinary abilities in this world, you have a moral obligation to do things for people. I'm like, what? Like he did like this long explanative version of with great power comes great responsibility. And it took you like 40 seconds to just spell it out.
The big oh shit moment of SummerSlam. I remember this so well.
Oh, yeah, now I remember our end of SummerSlam, which was 4 minutes of run-ins.
Also, just in case people aren't aware, episode 54.
Where'd the lights go? Is he here? The Fiend staring down Lesnar, and the Fiend Sister Abigail to Lesnar.
So this was a very long time ago. This was 150 some odd episodes. This was actually over 170 episodes ago.
Mandible claw in on Brock Lesnar.
I know that, but still.
Lesnar passing out on the entrance ramp.
And now
4 minutes of run-ins is the most Vince Russo thing we've ever done.
I was going to say the full Battleground pay-per-view is a very Russo show.
Yes,
Whoa,
but like
what?
that was a Russo show.
Lights come
I
up.
was talking about a Russo thing.
Lesnar gone.
Here we go.
Russo thing we've ever done.
Here we go.
Are we really doing this? EC3's cashing it in.
And it means
EC3
almost
with a big
nothing.
strike to Bryan. Cover.
God, it pisses me off so bad.
2. Bryan kicks out.
It always bothers me nowadays.
Daniel
Like in
Bryan
2K, I think it was like
with Brock Lesnar.
2K18 was the
EC3.
like I think 19 is the first time they changed it because I think 19 is where they changed the Money in the Bank mechanic. Right?
This match is official.
I think so.
EC3 went to war with Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman helping him though.
In 2K19 is where they changed it. In 2K18 and back, when you cashed in Money in the Bank, your opponent was at the lowest health possible, and you started the match with a signature and a finisher. Now you don't. You both start at 0%.
Are we about to have a new champion?
And they start at whatever they were at when they finished their match. Which them starting at whatever they were at when they finished their match, that's fine. But like, it's just, it's really annoying.
But now it looks like Bryan might be falling victim to the curse as well.
I'm just getting ready.
EC3 picking him back up. EC3 right.
Oh.
Hey, be quiet, dogs.
Yeah, I hear them. I'm well aware. There's going to be a text any second now coming in that's going to say, let them in, please.
Could retain by a count-out. Champion's advantage does count even in a Money in the Bank cash-in. EC3 went for Nizzle, Brian out of the way.
And that was it. I think that was EC3's signature. What really pissed me off, and you see I'm playing as EC3, Daniel Bryan just kept reversing shit in this match.
Daniel Bryan trying to fire himself back up. Bryan.
I have a feeling like, no, we can't let this happen.
EC3 pulls him in. No, drives Daniel Bryan in the man.
Okay, that was EC3's signature.
That's a terrible signature.
1, 2. Bryan kicks out.
Right, and now I think here's where I swapped to playing as Bryan.
Oh, kicked him in the head by Daniel.
Thought I did.
Bryan. Oh, EC3 counters. EC3 grabs Bryan. Oh, whoa. EC3 to a guillotine choke. But a rope break.
And now, fun fact, Roman Reigns used the guillotine.
And now EC3 calling up
your opponent has to be into the ropes, not you.
Champion. EC3.
Yeah, the 2K games and their rope breaks piss me off. Like, I've had rope breaks in triple threat matches a lot lately.
And EC3 cover on Bryan.
And you can see the cut there from where Bryan just kept kicking out.
We have a new WWE champion.
And then the other thing with Money in the Bank cash-ins is from the way they work, your music doesn't start playing until after the replays are over, and it gives replays of the previous match instead. So it's just so awkward.
Hits the 1%er.
How long did it last, Ray?
EC 3 WWE champion in the night. Thank you all for tuning in to this incredible SummerSlam event. I've been Zander, and
that sums up the whole thing, doesn't it?
See you tomorrow.
So yeah, that was our SummerSlam.
Yep. That
Our
was
very
the
first
whole King Caboodle.
WWE needs work, but we all knew that. Yeah. So that was our first SummerSlam. Kind of crazy, isn't it?
Yep. And tomorrow we have the second one. But how long ago did our last SummerSlam came out? Not a year ago.
Or April 15th of last year.
So see what Zander was doing, speed releasing episodes for a while.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, I'm definitely about to get asked to bring the dogs in. How long did it last, Ray? God. We're going to wrap up here in a minute. Let's just see. I'm just kind of curious. Let's see how the build for SummerSlam went upload-wise. Because normally, it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So, let's see here. So, it started after Money in the Bank. Money in the Bank came out on February 17th. So, episodes then came out on February 22nd, February 24th, 25th, 28th, March 4th. Nothing for a while. After March 4th, do you know when the next episode of Universe was?
When?
March 31st.
Chances are.
The next thing was NXT TakeOver Brooklyn that came out on April 3rd. And then we had Universe episodes on April 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, and then 13th is when this came out.
So you may ask yourself, why? And the answer is drugs, hard drugs.
We didn't say that, but yes, we did.
Is it bad if I spent the rest of the budget on drugs, hard drugs?
And now, I think the perfect thing to end on is a clip.
Okay, I want to pitch you guys this. If we reach like 1,000 or 10,000, a crazy amount of subscribers, Zander and I have a friend. He has an empty shed. We will use this empty shed to recreate the Drake and Josh in the treehouse.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay, I'm down with that. I was worried about what you were signing me up for. But now, I'd like to share with you guys.
Right. Last time one of your ideas had me in an empty shed, I couldn't sit down right for 3 weeks. So,
yeah. And yeah, so because we have some new members of the LS11 universe lately, there's a clip I shared about 2 months ago, right before the SummerSlam build started. And I shared it with no context. So some of you guys know that 2 weeks ago on SmackDown, the Undisputed Era attacked the Hurt Business. And that's why they're having a title match tomorrow at SummerSlam.
Yep.
That was not the first take of that. This was the first take of that. Oh my god! What the fuck? Oh my god! What? They hit them so hard they teleported into the ring. Okay. Okay. Zander, collect yourself. Let's try this again. I've got to save that clip, though. And save that clip I did.
That clip will live in infamy.
Yeah, just... That's what it looks like when I get broken by an episode.
Along with a few others in my sequence about the air compression enlargement device.
Don't you dare. All right, have a good night, Carol. And the final thing I'll end on is, so I write down when I'm doing this notepad for Universe, I write down a 0 if there are no pauses in the match, a set of tally marks if there are pauses in the match, and an R if the game, or if I have to restart the match, or a C if the game crashes.
Yeah.
Now, this is going to tell you guys how many matches are on Bad Blood, but it doesn't tell you any of the matches in general. So, would you guys like to hear before I go?
Oh boy, would they.
This is what an editing of a pay-per-view sounds like for me. 0 pauses, 1 pause. 1 restart, 0 pauses. 1 pause, 0, crash, restart, 2 pause, 3 pause, restart, 9 pauses in 1 match. And that's a pay-per-view. Weekly episodes are fine. Zach, I 100% agree with you. He says, honestly, this year's looks like it's going to be better than last year's. That was the goal, and I think we're going to achieve that. I think we finally got we've got our feet under us with booking now. I think we kind of figured it out. So I think this year's is definitely going to be a lot better. And I look forward to seeing you guys at this year's SummerSlam tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yes, it will. And we'll be here tomorrow to watch all of you rage out at what happens.
Yep. And so you know what?
What?
Because I've never gotten to do this live. I've been Zander, and that was a live stream.
He's in, boys! He did it! He said it!